Welcome to Fenway Park for Game 1 of a 3-game series between the Red Sox and the New York Yankees. Hi again, everybody. Don Orsillo is always joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball tonight. The Red Sox and Yankees start a series. And Jerry, looking at the schedule, could you ever imagine the Red Sox would have a 13.5 game lead over the Yankees heading into this series?
No. To be perfectly honest with you, I thought these teams would be very close at this stage of the season, but you can see the difference in the standings, the 13.5 games, and, two different approaches throughout this weekend. Don, the Red Sox just want to maintain playing good baseball. And, when they say they take each game individually, I believe them. They do. They take a game against New York just as serious as one maybe against Tampa Bay. The Yankees are in a different situation, and I'm quite sure right now Joe Torre has told his club to forget about looking at the standings. It doesn't mean anything right now. Let's just start playing good baseball, take a peek where we are in a couple of months, and hopefully we're close to a playoff spot, whether it be the division or whether it be the wild card. And that's really the only way that you can approach it if as a member of the New York Yankees. So, it's always fun. Look, regardless of where they are in the standings, when they come to Fenway Park for this weekend series, it's going to cause a lot of excitement. It's always great theater, and tonight Tim Wakefield against Chein Wang to start this thing off should be a good one.
Should be a great matchup here tonight, and again, we are in the midst of a delay. We're told tonight we should start around 7:30 as the rains came about half an hour or so ago. The tarp is off the field and getting it ready. We'll come back with more after the break. Please join the Ultimate Red Sox Show. Glasso Vitamin Water, Rico, Lincoln Mercury, Molson, Toyota. Welcome to Fenway Park. A bit of a delay here tonight as the Red Sox and the New York Yankees getting ready in this first of three. Game was supposed to start tonight just after 7 o'clock, but about a half-hour rain delay tonight. And as a result of getting started tonight about 7:35 is what they tell us. So the Red Sox and the Yankees finally will get underway. It really never did rain here tonight, Jerry. Is the delay. They were waiting for rain, but it never really did happen.
Now, I guess there was some thunderstorms in the area, just a few sprinkles here at Fenway Park, but certainly nothing that would have delayed the ball game, that's for sure. So rather be safe than sorry. They had the top on the field in case the storm blew through. It did not, and we'll get that 7:30 start in.
Now the Red Sox tonight in a much different spot than I think anybody anticipated at this time of year as they begin tonight with a 10-game lead over the Baltimore Orioles. That part may have been believable enough, but to see the Yankees tied with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays to begin tonight's action, certainly a very big surprise here tonight. And as you mentioned off the top tonight in the open, right now the Yankees just got to worry about themselves and winning some series, and not so much worry about the Red Sox.
No, take care of your own business. Try to string together some wins. Try to put a good 2 weeks together, then followed by a good month. Take a peek at where you're going to be, where you are in the standings, and go from there. That's all you can do when you're in that situation.
Well, the Red Sox take the field tonight. Let's take a look at the visiting New York Yankees starting nine, brought to you by Rico. Leading it off, the designated hitter Johnny Damon. Derek Jeter bats second at shortstop. Hideki Matsui in left field. Alex Rodriguez at third base in the cleanup spot. Jorge Posada does the catching with Robinson Cano at second base. Bobby Abreu in right field. Josh Phelps at first base bats eighth, and Melky Cabrera in center field bats ninth. The starting pitcher is brought to you by Panasonic, and on the mound tonight for the Red Sox is Tim Wakefield.
Well, Wakefield 5-5, coming off a win in his last start against the Texas Rangers down in Texas. The Yankees have been a different story. In 2 starts this year against New York, 0-2. And as a matter of fact, in his last 9 starts going back to May 27th of 2005, he is 1-7 against New York with an ERA of 6. The Red Sox defense is brought to you by your Boston area Lexus dealers. They are currently 9th in the American League with 33 errors in 52 games. Mike Lowell at third base, Julio Lugo the shortstop, Dustin Pedroia at second, and Kevin Youkilis at first. Left to right, Manny Ramirez, Coco Crispin, J.D. Drew, and Doug Mirabelli, of course, doing the catching for Tim Wakefield.
The umpiring crew, Brian O'Nora has a plate tonight. Phil Cuzzi at first base, Chris Guccione at second base, and Jerry Crawford, the umpire, at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
It's turned into a beautiful night tonight at Fenway Park. The lights are on, and after a half-hour rain delay tonight, the Red Sox and the Yankees are ready to go as Johnny Damon's introduced as he stands in. It's a .264 with 3 homers and 17 runs batted in. Just picked up the 2,000th hit of his career as he takes strike one from Wakefield.
And Wakefield starting off Johnny Damon with the fastball to get ahead quickly.
Damon slaps it foul, and it's 0-2. A 10-game road trip for the Yankees. They will head to Chicago to play a 4-game series after this weekend series against the Red Sox. A 5-game losing streak until Joe Torre and the Yankees were able to pick up a win in the final game of the series from Rogers Center against the Toronto Blue Jays. On the ground right side, Pedroia is there, and there's one away.
There's some talk a few days ago that Johnny Damon may be going on the Sable list, having some calf problems, but Damon, we know how tough he is from the time he played in Boston, and being on the DL is not something he wants to be on.
Well, Jason Giambi is going to be lost for a long time. They're talking about a minimum of 3 months. As Derek Jeter stands in at .343, 3 homers and 28 runs batted in. On the ground, a fair ball from foul ground and in the air. Lowell throws him out. Mike Lowell again, outstanding.
And Lowell, realizing with Jeter going down the line that he has virtually no time to waste, makes the throw in the air. He goes right over that third base bag, and watch how quickly he gets rid of this baseball. A couple of steps, a jump, and a throw to first base, and right on target to Kevin Youkilis.
So 2 outs, and a very nice play by Mike Lowell, which we have come to expect. As Hideki Matsui stands in, batting in the 3 spot. 282 with 5 homers and 25 runs batted in. The strike from Wakefield, who started off ahead tonight. Matsui with 4 hits in his last 19 at-bats. Had a couple of hits in the final game of the series at Toronto.
He struggled too against Wakefield, 163, but he does have a couple of career home runs against Wakefield.
One drops in there, and it's 1-2. Alex Rodriguez waits on deck.
They're all out tonight.
Yes, they are. They're everywhere. On the ground right side, Youkilis will take it himself. It's a 9-pitch, 1-2-3 first for Tim Wakefield. Red Sox coming up.
That's Rusty Wallace, amazing driver. He's also my third cousin once removed. That's his brother, Mike Wallace, driver of the Geico Chevrolet. I can see why Geico sponsors Mike. And when he does well, people will think about saving money on car insurance. Whereas if I were driving that car, all they could think about is, there goes Lauren Wallace, greatest thing that ever climbed into a race car. Poor fella. He has no idea.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Sullivan Tire has been helping people reach their destinations for more than 50 years. At South Shore Hospital, the staff in the neonatal intensive care unit help tiny newborns get to the most important destination of all, home. These caring professionals provide expert care to babies born prematurely or with medical complications. The spirit they bring to the communities we live in gives new meaning to being here to get you there.
Sullivan Tire salutes those driven to care.
Friendly's new iced lattes are perfect if you're on the go or if you just want to hang out. Try our new iced mocha latte. We start with rich hot fudge, add a bold blend of Sumatra coffee poured over ice, finished with fresh light cream, Friendly's whipped topping, and a sweet mocha drizzle. Handmade the second you order it in a variety of flavors like regular, mocha, or caramel. This summer, grab your friends, grab a bite, and chill at Friendly's. So come on, get in, get friendly.
Steel and your local steel dealers say, bring on the season. We're ready for great values, like the FS45 grass trimmer. Great for homeowners, this steel is lightweight and easy to start. The FS45 is our most popular grass trimmer and comes with a 2-year limited warranty. And right now, it's just $139.95. Not available at big box stores. To find a Steel servicing dealer near you, visit steelusa.com.
Back at Fenway, where the Yankees went 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Red Sox coming up in the bottom of the first inning. Let's check out their starting nine. Julio Lugo leads it off for the Red Sox at shortstop. Kevin Youkilis at first base. David Ortiz, a designated hitter. Manny Ramirez in left field. J.D. Drew in right. Mike Lowell at third base has already made a great defensive play. Coco Crisp in center. Doug Mirabelli doing the catching. And Dustin Pedroia at second base bats ninth. The starting pitcher is brought to you by Panasonic and Chein Wang.
This will be start number 8. He is 3-4 in the season. You see the numbers on the right of your screen against the Red Sox this year. 1-1 in 2 games started. 3-4 in his career against Boston clubs.
Lugo leading it off here in the bottom of the first inning. Lugo takes strike one from Wang.
And of course the key to Chein Wang is make him get the ball up. He has that heavy sinker that he can throw about to 95, 96 miles an hour, along with other pitches, the breaking ball, which he threw a lot of against the Red Sox last time at the stadium. That's the sinker I was talking about there. Also has a split-fingered fastball and a changeup, but remember that game in New York, Don? It was a lot of sliders that he threw to Red Sox hitters.
More than we're used to seeing as he changed up his approach a little bit in that last outing. He's doing some housekeeping behind the plate as Posada trying to clean out his area.
And over Posada's right shoulder, Hall of Famer Ray Bork. It's on our pregame show, what, last night? 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
And a pretty good seat.
I think he's earned that seat.
I would say so. Yeah,
yes.
pretty good career. Not bad.
Not bad. Posada continues to work around the home plate. This has gone on for a long time now. Now he's settled in. The count is 0-2 to Lugo. And he strikes out. So Wang strikes him out for the first out.
The Yankee defense is brought to you by New England Ford dealers. They are 6th in the American League with 30 errors in their 51 games. Alex Rodriguez at third base, Derek Jeter the shortstop, Robinson Cano at second, and Josh Phelps at first. Left to right, Hideki Matsui, Melky Cabrera, and Bobby Abreu. Jorge Posada doing the catching for Wang.
We talked so much about the slider for Wang last time out. He used it to strike out Lugo. And there's one away here in the first inning. Here's Kevin Youkilis. Youkilis taking the first pitch strike. 354 with 8 homers and 30 runs batted in for Youkilis. And because of all the hitting he's done over the last month, he's 3rd in the American League in batting average. And 354 to begin the night. And the amazing streak continues. 22 games right now for Kevin Youkilis. Look at the numbers over the 22 gamer. 429. He's only behind Ichiro as far as current streaks go. Ichiro's hit safely in 24 games. Just off the outside edge, and it's 2-1. Six homers and 21 runs batted in during this 22-game stretch. For a while there was putting together not just 1 hit a game but 2 hits a game. He recorded 2 or more hits in 9 straight games from May 20th through the 29th, tying a club record set by Jim Rice back on May 1st through the 9th of 1978. Ground to Jeter. Step to his left. And Youkilis is out number 2 of the first inning.
Well, first 2 outs of this game on the slider from Chein Wang. He got the strikeout to Lugo on the slider. Now getting ahead of Youkilis, the same pitch. And down and away. Usually now with 2 strikes, we've seen Youkilis go the other way with a pitch like that. That time he rolls over and the ground ball to Derek Jeter.
So 2 down for David Ortiz. Ortiz at .315, 9 homers and 38 runs batted in. Returned to the Red Sox lineup on Wednesday night in the final game of the series against the Indians. He had missed the previous 3 games with some tight hamstrings. He's 1 for 4 the other night in his return. He has 3 for his last 15 coming into tonight's action.
And the 3 and 4 hitters in the Red Sox lineup have outstanding numbers against Wang.
Wang behind him now, 2-0. Wang won 19 games last year in what was a terrific season for him. Ortiz fooled on the pitch, and it's 2-1.
That's a high changeup that time from Wang, and fortunate to get away with it. They don't want to leave off-speed pitches up in this area, but it is off-speed, and it had David Ortiz a bit off balance.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Chein Wang last year finishing only behind Minnesota's Johan Santana in the American League Cy Young Award voting. And 19-6 with a 3.63 earned run average in 34 appearances, 33 starts. He's tied for first in the majors with the 19 wins. And the lowest home run rate in the majors. Gave up 1 home run every 18.1 innings pitched. 2006 home run rate. As the pitch misses, and it's a full count now. He's not allowed a home run in his last 4 starts. Last one was Ben Broussard's home run, spoiling his perfect game bid in the 8th inning back on May 5th. He had 2 home runs to the Red Sox in that last outing on April 29th. Here's 3-2. And he's ball 4, and the Red Sox have a base runner.
FW Webb is proud to be the official supplier of plumbing, heating, and cooling supplies for the Boston Red Sox. To learn more about how FW Webb can help you, contact your local professional contractor or visit fwwebb.com. FW Webb, we've got it.
Ortiz at first base with 2 down as he earns the base on balls, and it brings up Manny Ramirez. And he had 269, 8 homers, and 31 runs batted in. His last 8 games hitting at a cool .414. Swing and a miss, 93 that time on the fastball from Wang.
That's the pitch I was talking about, Don, that heavy sinker and hard sinker that Wang features at 93 miles an hour this time. And you can see the bottom just fall out of it. If he keeps the ball down in that area with that pitch, he's going to get a lot of ground ball outs.
To right center field and in for a hit. Ortiz to second base will stop there as Abreu gathers it. The Red Sox have something going here with 2 down in the first.
And Manny taking the slider from Wang to the opposite field for the base hit. And we mentioned the numbers for Ortiz and Manny. Ortiz at .455 coming into the game. Ramirez at .579 coming into the game against Wang. Right now, after that base hit, Manny had a nice little tidy 600 against Chein Wang with a couple of home runs.
So a chance here for the Red Sox in the first inning. Runners at first and second with 2 down. J.D. Drew stands in. Inside almost hit him as he jumps back out of the way. Drew was just 1 for 10 in the series against the Cleveland Indians. Overall, 226. With 2 homers and 17 runs batted in. He's had some tough numbers with runners in scoring position too. He's just 2 for his last 18 with runners in scoring position. And I think one of the more amazing facts about the Red Sox this season, as far as building up this huge lead against the rest of the division, has they have primarily done it without the bat of J.D. Drew, who's really had a very tough start to the season.
One thing that has not wavered, though, in Terry Francona's mind is leaving him right behind Ramirez in that 5 spot. You know, he's been asked a lot, you know, if he's going to tinker with the lineup and drop him down the line. He said, nope. He said, I believe that he's going to start to hit. I'm not going to give up on him, and I want him in that 5 spot.
Do you think it relieves any pressure for a guy if he's dropped out of that spot, or adds more because he's no longer in the spot he's supposed to be in?
I don't know, man. I think that's a spot he'd love to be in. Those are guys on base.
Chop to first, backing up, and eats him up. Phelps has a kick off his body, still had time, but then looked up and did not react very quickly after he gathered it. Red Sox have him loaded as Phelps elected to back up, and it just eats him up.
Yeah, I think his first instinct after knocking it down was saving the run from scoring, and when he picks the ball up, you're going to see him look toward home plate, and that's to see if that runner was going to score. Then by the time he looks to first base, it's too late to get J.D. Drew.
So bases loaded now for Boston. We have 2 outs in the inning. They have not yet ruled on that play. Now they have. It's an error charge to Phelps at first base. So the first miscue of the night. We saw Mankiewicz in all 3 games last time the Red Sox and the Yankees met. Tonight getting the start is Phelps. With Lowell taking ball 1. A home run for Lowell on Wednesday night. His 10th of the season as he's in double figures now. He had 20 all of last season and grabbing his 10th in the final game of that series against the Indians. Bases loaded, 2 down. 1-1.
You mentioned Phelps at first base. Phelps with a .320 average against Wakefield. I think that's one of the reasons he's out there tonight. They give up some defense with Mankiewicz not in the lineup, but he has better numbers than Mankiewicz does against Wakefield.
Team enjoying a 1-2-3 first inning tonight. Ground ball to Jeter at shortstop. He'll go to second, and the throw is a tough one, but reeled in by Cano. Red Sox leave him loaded. Done with 1, no score.
Ford F-Series with the sheer rugged strength of F-150, the unrivaled capability of Super Duty, the most towing, the most payload of any other trucks in their class. No wonder the strongest trucks out there are America's best-selling trucks. Now get up to $5,045 total savings on Ford F-Series. See your local Ford store and get up to $5,045 in savings.
Hey, man.
Hey.
Give you a hand?
Sure, yeah. Just take the, oh.
No. Hey, guys. Check this out. So you pop the top, little tap action, boom, get the glass. A little something I like to call liquid gold.
Did you see what Mikey brought?
Yeah.
I brought a sandwich.
Okay.
It's got Gouda. Smoked Gouda, actually.
The insurance choices you make affect your present and future.
And the valuable assets you work so hard for require the right protection.
Place your trust in an independent insurance agent that can give you multiple quotes from top insurance companies.
At very competitive rates. Rates that frequently beat the competition.
SIAA Insurance Choices. Local independent agents that help you make the right choice.
Contact your area SIAA Choices agent.
It's all about choices.
Have you heard about the benefits of a reverse mortgage? If you're a homeowner, 62 years or older, and would like to supplement your monthly income, a reverse mortgage could be the key to living comfortably in retirement. U.S. government-insured reverse mortgages allow seniors to convert the equity in their home into cash without having to move or make monthly loan payments. We offer a free information kit and video explaining everything you need to know about a reverse mortgage.
Call 800-300-4519.
Top half of the second inning, Alex Rodriguez leads it off. Sure, every time we go to New York, we have to put up with all the Yankee stars that are in town. We got our stars of our own. Christy Brinkley's here tonight.
Yeah, that's the ultimate uptown girl right there.
There you go. Well, Tom Werner here tonight at the game. And here with us is another star. Reggie Smith's in town as part of the 1967 reunion. Welcome and good to see you.
Thank you, Don. Good to be here.
What do you think of the ballpark coming back here? Has it been a while for you?
It has been, and it's really beautiful. All of the improvements and the changes that they've made to have the great Boston fans have an opportunity to see more of these ball games.
You know, Reggie, remember that great 67 club, and what most people don't know is that you really started at second base for that team, didn't you?
I was the opening day second baseman. That's usually a trivia question that they ask, and spending all those years in the outfield, they wondered, how did I wind up in at second base? Well, it was due to an injury to another rookie, Mike Andrews.
Well, you were back here for opening day as part of that as well. You guys coming together, and 22 of you here tonight as Rodriguez works the walk to begin the inning. You know, I've asked so many. We've had a lot of the guys from 1967 on. At what point during that season did you realize you guys had it going on and you had a chance to pull off the magic that you did?
Probably about August, when things kind of started to gel and we were really clicking on all cylinders as a team. Things came together for us, and then a couple of big ball games that we had an opportunity to win kind of gave us the confidence that we could compete with the better ball clubs, and at that time it was pretty much a 4 or 5 team race.
Yeah, and this club here really changed the fans around in Boston. On opening day that year, there couldn't have been probably 12,000 people here. And I remember one trip you guys made back to the airport after a long winning streak, and you had about I don't know, maybe 10,000 people waiting for you to come back.
It was strange because we were on a plane and they made the announcement on board plane that we didn't know if we'd be able to get in or what runway we were going to have to land on, because the people had come onto the runway. And I think more than anything else, that was another moment in time when we were able to get a feeling that this was something special, or this year was going to be something special.
And even in those days, you had great rivalries with the Yankees. I remember a fight at Yankee Stadium. Rico was involved, Jim Lombard, and I think you were involved in short right field, and I think you had some kind of karate hold on somebody.
Well, I had body slam Thad Tillotson, but about that time Dooley Womack and Elston Howard had me in a pretzel, so I was just hanging on for dear life more than anything else.
Well, Posada becomes the first strikeout victim of the night for Tim Wakefield. We are visiting with Reggie Smith, of course, a reunion here again tonight. The 1967 Impossible Dream Team, and it'll be great reconnecting with a lot of those teammates again.
It's been really a lot of fun, you know, laughing and remembering the old stories about how bad we really were. But you know, that's what age does to you. You forget that you had some struggles too, but more than anything else, the good times of just being together and knowing that we are all here on this side of the grass.
And of course, you played your first major league manager was Dick Williams, right?
Yes, I also had, you know, Dick at Toronto in AAA ball, and at that time, I think he had 2 straight championship teams, and we were kind of being primed for what was about to happen. So the expectations for us at that time were pretty high, and we expected highly of ourselves.
Were you afraid of him, Jerry? You're still afraid of him?
No, I got to know him.
I got to know him too, but I'm still afraid of him. And of course, Yastrzemski that year with the most valuable player. It just seemed like that last month of the season, he did everything to carry that club.
It was probably the greatest year that I have ever seen a player have, and being a true superstar in the true sense of the word, because he made everyone around him play better. He made us play to get him an opportunity to get to the plate so he would have a chance to win a ball game, and somehow or another we would do that, and he did.
And it hadn't been for Bob Gibson, probably world champs.
Well, we ran out of steam at that time because our ace, Lonborg, was going on short rest
2 days
at that time. But I think hit here or there and not having to face a pitcher of the caliber of Bob Gibson, we might have won it. I'd still like to think we would have.
This turned into a pretty close play.
Yeah, and the crowd would have loved it had A-Rod been called out on that.
That would have been a long run back to the dugout had he been.
He actually was thinking about going because he was headed in the wrong direction.
Yep. On a 1-1 to Robinson Cano. This one fouled off to the left. We had Hawk Harrelson on earlier this season too. Is he always styling back then too? I mean, he's styling now. He's got all kinds of stuff going.
He was the Hawk, and
Yeah.
he was the fashion plate. And we always put him out front there, you know, with his Nehru jackets and the whole thing. So.
Well, certainly special to see all you guys back here. We had a chance to meet a lot of the 1967 guys coming back, and I think it's hard for us in Red Sox Nation today to even imagine that the crowd was not filled or at capacity on a nightly basis.
Well, in the beginning, having actually it started in 1966 when we started coming up at the end of the season. The attendance improved, but I think it drew over 1 million people shortly thereafter, and it was fun seeing the people standing in the aisles trying to crowd into the ballpark, and the Boston fans showed that yes, we will support you if you put a winner out on the field, and I'd like to think that was the beginning of what's happened here right now, and it's great to be a part of that.
Yeah, without question, the Impossible Dream Team is a team that really turned baseball around here in Boston. There's no question about that. Saw George Scott in the offseason. I don't think Boomer could be playing third base right now. He put on a little weight.
No, it would be a little bit difficult for him, but you know, either playing third base or first base, Scotty was probably one of the best defensive first basemen that ever put on a glove.
Well, again, it is terrific to see all of you guys. As Stremski was back, of course, earlier this season as part of opening day. This is hit in the air to right field. J.D. Drew headed back. Cano's put a charge into it, and it is gone. A 2-run shot for Robinson Cano that gives the Yankees the early 2-0 lead.
Well, Robinson Cano picks up his second home run of his career against Tim Wakefield, and you know, Cano is a guy that's going to be a very good hitter that's got off to a slow start. Another one of those Yankees who has not quite hit his stride. Well, he puts this one in the Yankee bullpen. Actually up over the Yankee bullpen about 10 rows.
Ball thrown back onto the field by the fan that caught it beyond the bullpen. So J.D. Drew's got to go run it down. Reggie Smith, great to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
Don, thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Very good
All
seeing
right.
you. Thanks for having me.
22 members, the 1967 Impossible Dream, honored here tonight on the field prior to the game. Of course, the manager Dick Williams throwing out the first pitch. He threw it out tonight to Terry Francona, who caught the first pitch, manager to manager. A very nice ceremony. The 2-run shot for Cano has the Yankees on top 2-0, and now Bobby Abreu holds up. Did he go? They'll check. No, says Jerry Crawford. And it's a ball and a strike. One pitch misses outside. This player profile is brought to you by Sovereign Bank, the official bank of the Red Sox cable network. Well, heading into this year, Bobby Abreu light 303. Unlike Bobby Abreu, who checks in hitting at 228 coming into tonight's action. And drives one off the wall to left. Manny plays the carom, but it's a double for Bobby Abreu. A 9-pitch first for Tim Wakefield, not enjoying that kind of success here in the second inning.
And that's pretty much the way it's gone for Tim recently against the New York Yankees. Here with the knuckleball away, and Bobby Abreu plays with that left field wall. And he just kind of turned around as soon as he made contact, knowing he was going to hit that wall, and the easy double for Abreu.
So Abreu at second base. This is all after the Red Sox had a golden opportunity in the first inning and could not score. Josh Phelps at 281, 2 homers, 9 runs batted in. Good to see Reggie Smith. We thank him for dropping by. Of course, did get that elusive championship as a member of the Dodgers some 14 years later. As a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And Jack Melky Cabrera, the number 9 batter for the Yankees. Leadoff walk for Rodriguez pays costly here for the Red Sox, and Tim Wakefield. He comes around to score. Almost had him picked off. And to first base goes Phelps, and it's another walk. Second walk of the inning allowed by Wakefield.
And long look into Onora by Wakefield. It was a curveball that he threw that apparently missed, and the walk to Phelps. Looked a little bit low there. And Wakefield just kind of stares in at Onora, thinking he had a strike.
Melky Cabrera checks in, hitting at .224, 2 homers. And 15 runs batted in.
And another switch hitter who elects to hit right-handed against Wakefield.
Cabrera 4 for his last 23, but collected a couple of hits as he went 2 for 4 in the final game of the Blue Jays series. So a total of 35 starts now. 17th time that he started in center field. So we had 15 starts in left and 3 in right. And has become a very important part of this Yankees team over the last 2 years. More Tim Wakefield staring in. As he gets behind 3-0 and has thrown 7 straight balls. Did not like that last pitch. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded. The third walk of the inning allowed by Wakefield. He wants to see Mirabelli. Calls him out.
I think what he's going to tell Mirabelli first, Farrell's going to come out and talk, but I think what Wakefield wants to do is he wants to have Mirabelli find out where the strike zone is, because there's a couple he thought were strikes that were not called strikes. I'm not too sure about the curveball to Phelps. The ball looked low too, but that's another one that Wakefield wanted
for a long time.
Home runs have been a problem over the last few starts. His first 7 starts, only allowing 2 home runs over his last 4 starts. 5 home runs allowed for Tim.
Johnny Damon introduced and booed again, as always. He grounded out second base first time up. The league leaders are brought to you by Olympia Sports. You don't let this guy up with the bases loaded. As far as active players go, he's tops. 404. His career bases loaded average.
See Bonds at 370. They can't walk him with the bases loaded.
And foul.
Although they have done that. They've walked him at times when they've had leads in games with the bases loaded instead of giving up the grand slam.
Abreu at third base, Phelps at second, Cabrera at first with 1 out. This one gets away from Mirabelli, not far enough for Abreu to try it. Robinson Cano's 2-run shot as the Yankees on top 2-0 for Cano's 3rd home run of the season. It's been a very quiet season for Cano. Hit .342 to end last year, hitting at just .264 coming into tonight's action. Wakefield falling behind now, 3-1. This will be the 30th pitch of the inning for Tim Wakefield. Jeter waits on deck. Ball 4, and he walks in another run. It's 3-0 New York as Abreu comes from third base. The 4th walk of the inning allowed by Tim Wakefield.
The walk high in a game for Wakefield is 5. He's done that a couple of times this season, but already the 4, and all coming here in the 2nd inning. It looks like an early phone call down to that bullpen as Kyle Snyder, the first out of the chute.
It's always a tough area for Terry Francona because you know that Wakefield can figure it out in a hurry and then reel off 4 or 5 more innings. So we've seen so many times Jeter grounds it to Lugo. Goes to second for one, on to first. It's dug out of the dirt by Youkilis. Oh, they needed that. The Yankees do come away with 3 runs in the inning. It's now 3-0 New York.
Hi, Lisa. What's that? Oh, it's a smoothie from Dunkin' Donuts. It has low-fat yogurt, vitamin C. It's a snack you can feel good about. Oh, you're right. I do feel good. I feel so good, I don't even mind that you stole my smoothie. I feel so good, I don't even feel awkward about taking it.
Delicious Dunkin' Donuts smoothies, now in tropical fruit. America runs on Dunkin'.
Stop by Dunkin' Donuts and try the new tropical fruit smoothie in pineapple, banana, and coconut flavor.
What if whales watched where they were going? They don't. That's why Irving does. We moved the shipping lane to avoid endangered right whales. Working with the New England Aquarium to find a safe solution. Giving nature the right of way. That's my what if.
My neighbor drove all over town to find the best deal on a cell phone. I just logged on to Let's Talk. They make it easy to compare plans from all major carriers and find cell phone deals that are much cheaper than retail.
Like the hot BlackBerry Pearl with music and video player, a $369 value, yours free after mail-in rebate and new calling plan.
Let's Talk has the best prices, the best plans, and the most free phones guaranteed.
Log on to 25letstalk.com or call now to order your BlackBerry Pearl. Let's Talk, the smarter way to shop for cell phones. So log on or call now.
Introducing the new chicken and biscuit bowl from KFC. Layers of mashed potatoes, sweet corn, all white meat chicken, new home-style white gravy, and a 3-cheese blend. And now it comes with a buttermilk biscuit. Dig into great layers of flavor with new KFC famous bowls.
Hey, what's the point? Tune in for 10 sports questions and the man with all the answers. Globe 10.0, presented by Verizon. Hosted by Bob Ryan. Premiering Tuesday, June 26th on NESN.
That's the point.
Three to nothing. The Yankees on top as they strike for 3 in the top half of the second inning. It's on to the bottom of the second. And it's Chris, Marabelli, and Pedroia.
Well, a huge play for the Red Sox early in this game, getting the double play. Johnny Damon trying to break it up with Pedroia, but he can't quite get to him in time. And Youkilis with a nice scoop at first base. Now, you brought the point down about Wakefield, how tough it is to manage a knuckleball pitcher. You know, with other guys, conventional pitchers, you can pretty much tell nights they're on and they're off. Well, the Wakefield, it can be off for an inning, but then back on. And that double play was huge.
Red Sox had a very good opportunity in the first. The bases loaded, 2 outs chance when Mike Lowell grounded out. Lined into right field, a base hit for Coco Crisp.
Well, Coco had been 0 for his last 12, but a line shot quickly back by Cano for the base hit.
So lead runner on for the Red Sox. Here's Doug Marabelli. Hitting at 190 with 2 homers and 4 runs batted in. One for his last 21. Picked out of the dirt that time by Posada.
You know, anybody that follows baseball and of course watch Yankee Red Sox games, they seem to be marathons every time they play. And you know, that question was brought up to Terry Francona today, and you know, one of the reasons for that is the fact that both teams are very patient. You know, both teams run deep counts. There are very few aggressive first pitch hitters on either side, and then they both make pitchers work hard. And a lot of the games are nationally televised games, which, you know, the breaks are a little bit longer, but it's really the guys on the field. It's the players on the field, and they're very similar offensively in many ways.
Well, Jerry, having sat here through the 4-hour and 45-minute Red Sox-Yankees game last year, 9-inning 4-hour and 45-minute game last year, there's no doubt They can play some extremely long games. That was after the day game. It was like 3:45. As this one is popped up from second base comes Cano. And there's one away. Let's check in with Tina Cervasio. Tina.
Don, we know early in the season Dustin Pedroia was struggling at the plate. He was new to Major League Baseball, so he really wasn't settling in. But now on a 10-game hitting streak, the general manager definitely thinks Pedroia is playing much more relaxed.
Now I think fans are finally getting to see the guy who's been here all along. You know, he's really got unbelievable hand-eye coordination, and he's going to put the barrel of the bat on the baseball the majority of the time, and he's really settling in and playing well. So it's nice to see him be himself out there, and he can spark a team in a lot of different ways.
And in Pedroia's last 20 games, he's batting .435 to go from .172. His batting average is now up to .308 into this at-bat.
Okay, Tina, thanks very much. Riding that 10-game hitting streak is Pedroia. What changes do you see him, Jared?
Well, from a year ago, he's turning double play much better. You know, he had a long throw at second base, and I think that's from his time at shortstop. I think working at second, you know, in spring training with Louis Alicea has really helped him a lot. I agree. When he generally hits the ball hard, he usually gets the good part of the bat on the ball. But, you know, it's like anything else now. When you're a new player in the league, you try to come in and do maybe more than what you are capable of doing, and I think you put a lot of pressure on yourself to impress your teammates, impress the fans, the organization, and it just takes you a while to settle in. And then once you have some success, then you become the player that you were in the minor leagues, and you realize, look, this is still baseball up here. I'm going to play it my way.
So much has been made about his big swing and not cutting that big swing down in two-strike situation. Goes the other way this time. To right field, over is Abreu to run it down to third base. Goes crisp on the double for Pedroia. He'll extend that hitting streak to 11 games.
Well, that's one thing that I think he's done, you know, is that he took some swings earlier in the season that even with 2 strikes looked like they were designed to hit the ball and pull the ball as hard as possible. Now he's using the other field every now and then. Now that's a good example. That pitch is down and away, but he's still able to make good solid contact on it and drive it to the opposite field. You know, I think earlier in the season, or maybe last year, we saw him still try to pull that pitch, and that's an impossible pitch to pull.
Well, it's 11 games now, and hitting at .471 during the 11-gamer, including the home run that he hit in Texas off Eric Gagne, and the at-bat of the year for him, and maybe the most exciting at-bat we've seen this season. The 12-pitch at-bat before getting the home run against Gagne. Julio Lugo gets a second look at Chein Wang tonight. He struck out swinging first time up. Lugo with 2 bunt hits in his last 2 games now. 10 infield hits overall this season. It's the most on the Red Sox. And he's 5th in the American League now in that category as he chops one toward second. High chopper. Cano's got 1 play. It's at first, and the Red Sox get their first run of the night as Coco Crisp slides in the back door, and it's 3-1 now, Yankees.
And of course, with the 3-0 lead, the Yankees playing the infield back. The only play for Robinson Cano was the first base.
It's now 31 RBIs on the season for the Red Sox leadoff hitter Julio Lugo.
That says 2 things. It means that the guys at the bottom of the batting order are getting on base for him. And the fact that, you know, when he's getting men on base, he's hitting well. He's driving those runs in. That's a lot of RBI for a leadoff guy who hasn't hit a stride yet. You know, 230 average coming into the game. So there have been plenty of situations that have presented itself to him where there have been men in scoring position.
He's now 18 RBIs in his last 18 contests. Chance here for Youkilis with 2 outs. You take strike 1. 94 that time from Wang. Youkilis grounded to Derek Jeter at shortstop, first time up. Turning into that pitch. And it's a ball and a strike. This on Monday night, legging out his first career inside the park home run. First career inside the park home run for the Red Sox since the Trot Nixon back on July 15th of 2005 did it against these Yankees. As the pitch missing, and it's 2-1. Well, we talked about it many times. He has gotten it out of the way very early, either in the first or second at bat. 19 of the 22 games. Bounce to short, first time up tonight. Broken bat liner, a foul ball. That ends up over by Jeter at shortstop. The end of it.
I don't know how long he's used that bat in this streak, but when you're on a hitting streak, you hate to crack the bat. And Wang can do that with that sinking fastball. He gets it right on the label of the bat and just splinters.
Two down, Dustin Pedroia 90 feet away at third base. Red Sox trailing by 2 runs now. Sliced foul back into the grandstand off to the right. 8 home runs for Kevin Youkilis, 6 of them off right-handed pitching and 2 of them off lefties. Outside of first, and the at-bat continues. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Honda. Olympia Sports, the official sporting goods retailer of the New England Sports Network. And by Dunkin' Donuts. 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning. Red Sox have gotten a run. Dustin Pedroia 90 feet away at third base as Youkilis waiting on a 2-2 pitch. Wow. A lot of the Yankees walk into the dugout as Nora said it was a ball.
Now they want to check first base umpire to see if he swung at it. That's what's going to bring Joe Torre. He can't argue balls and strikes, but he would like to have the first base umpire ask for a check.
They'll check and no, says Phil Cuzzy. The entire Yankee defense was headed to the dugout.
Well, I mean, it looked like strike 3, and not on a swing, on a pitch. And that's why Posada and Wang and about all the Yankees were headed to the dugout. They thought it was strike 3. Not on the swing, on the pitch.
It works out to be a walk in the end. And the second walk given up by Wang. Posada's out to try to calm down Wang, as they thought they had Youkilis for the final out of the inning. Instead now, more pitches, and he got a deal with Big Papi.
Yeah, a guy that's hit .455 with 2 career home runs against Wang.
An 8-pitch at bat for Kevin Youkilis. Fouled off a bunch of pitches. One thing both these teams are extremely good at doing is getting that starter's pitch count up early in games. And for Wang, it's 41 pitches now through an inning and 2/3. For Wakefield, it's 40 pitches through 2. Pedroia at third, Youkilis at first, 2 down. Ortiz walked first time up tonight. Lined into left field, a base hit. Pedroia from third. It's a 1-run game now. The 2-out RBI for Big Papi. It's 3-2 now, Yankees.
Well, how quickly things change in baseball. The Yankees thought they had strike 3 on Kevin Youkilis on the pitch, as they were all headed toward the Yankee dugout. Instead, they walk Youkilis, and Ortiz delivers to the opposite field for the base hit. This is very good hitting by David Ortiz. He's got the sinker ball pitcher out there working him away. He doesn't try to pull the ball, use left field, and drive in the run. RBI number 39 for Ortiz.
So now it's Youkilis at second, Ortiz at first, 2 down for Manny Ramirez. He singled to center first time up. A strike from Wang, who starts off ahead. Wang had a 3-0 advantage coming into the inning. Red Sox have gotten 2 of them back so far. Line to right, a base hit. Youkilis is stopped at third by DeMarlo Hale. The throw from Abreu is cut off. And the Red Sox have him loaded now with 2 down.
And in typical Manny fashion, when he gets to first base, he puts his arms up. How come you can't score? Well, again, great hitting by Ramirez, going to the other way against Wang. And of course, Abreu with a very good throwing arm, and DeMarlo Hale, even with the 2 outs, holds him up. Now watch Manny at first base as he turns around. He thinks he's got an RBI, looks over, no. What's going on here? Wave him on, DeMarlo.
Don't let DeMarlo get in the way. That's never been a problem for Manny coming around third base. He ran through DeMarlo Hale a few years ago.
And that's not the first time we see Manny do that. He does that a lot. You know, a lot of times with 2 outs, that coach will take that chance with 2 outs of scoring a run. But I think well aware of the throwing arm of Abreu, which is not what it once was, but still good.
Another chance here now for J.D. Drew. He reached on an error in the first inning. Bases loaded opportunity now, and Wang misses badly with ball 1. Drew holds off, and it's 2-0.
I'll tell you, to be honest with you, the Yankees should be in the dugout. That pitch to Youkilis was a strike.
A called strike, not a swinging strike.
A called strike.
A strike that time to J.D. Drew, and it's 2-1. Red Sox have won 8 of the last 11 meetings with the Yankees, beginning September 17th of last year. In fact, the Red Sox are now 9-4 since being swept in that 5-game series here at Fenway Park last August, which effectively was the end of the Red Sox season. Drew slices it foul, and the count evens at 2-2. Well, that series may have been in August, and the Red Sox had all that time left. It really was the end of the year as things turned out. A devastating 5-game series. But it's been a much different story this season. Red Sox able to sweep these Yankees in their first visit here in April. As Drew pops it up. A-Rod down the line at third. Makes the catch in fair ground. It ends the inning. The Red Sox gather a couple of runs. Yankees on top 3-2 at the end of 2.
Welcome to Foxwoods. Can I take those for you?
Everybody break out. Everybody get loose now.
Everyone has a wild side. Let yours out at Foxwoods.
Everybody break out. Everybody get loose now. Everybody break out.
Would you like these back?
No, we're good.
Everybody break out.
Meet your wild side at Foxwoods.
When you're on the go, you need the convenience, quality, and pricing that you'll always find at Extra Mart. Convenience. Everything you need is priced right and ready to go. Quality. Extra Mart has their own Extra Cafe Gourmet Coffee, delicious Deli Joe sandwiches, and Extra Fuels gasoline. Great prices. Extra Mart features everyday low prices and value specials. All this month at Extra Mart, 32-ounce vitamin water is specially priced at just $2 for $3. In every corner of New England, Extra Mart is just around your corner.
I love beer. I drink beer daily on taste panel here at the brewery.
This isn't like other beer companies. Everyone in here knows how to brew. We're a company of beer geeks.
Y'all have yourself a good weekend.
Samuel Adams employees, from the head of the legal department to the newest sales rep that we hired, learns how to brew beer. You need passion. You have to actually believe in what you're doing.
That's why I'm here. I love beer.
Sam Adams tastes great because happy employees make better beer.
Love my job.
Hello?
Mrs. Anderson, this is Mark Brown. I'm from the collections department of...
Hi. Listen, I'm sorry I haven't made my payment yet. I'll get it in as soon as I can.
Maybe you should call In Charge. They'll work with you and come up with a solution that's right for you.
When life hands you a little more than you can manage, call In Charge Debt Solutions. We're a nonprofit company that puts people back in control by helping them manage their debt. We'll stop the collection calls and we'll help lower your interest rates so you'll have one affordable monthly payment. Call In Charge today.
Top of the third inning. It's 3-2. New York on top as Hideki Matsui leads it off for New York. Matsui grounded out to first base, 3 unassisted back in the first inning. Part of a 1-2-3 first for Tim Wakefield on just 9 pitches. Much different second inning when he threw 30 pitches and allowed the 3 runs, including the 2-run home run by Robinson Cano. And as we talked about it a couple times tonight, even in games where Tim Wakefield's had very rough first innings, generally they calm down and reel off 4 or 5 innings in a row. Nice defensive play that time from the pitcher. Throws out Matsui, 1 down.
Now, Kavitian is a proud sponsor for the Boston Red Sox and Red Sox Foundation, helping to raise money for life-saving cancer research.
Here comes A-Rod for his second at bat. He walked the first time.
Nice play by Wakefield. He gets himself in good position. Nice high bounce and gets Matsui at first base.
This has been going on all night as A-Rod steps in and takes ball 1.
Well, Alex Rodriguez has always drawn a reaction from Red Sox fans, but nothing quite like tonight.
Well put. Line to left. Manny playing shallow as always. It's up over his head. Will one hop the wall. Gathers it quickly. The throw to second is going to be close. A-Rod is going to be about as out as you can be. How about this run back to the dugout?
Well, again, you know, Manny Ramirez in left field, very underrated here at Fenway Park. The quick release, just like an infield, the throwing sidearm and always on target. A-Rod out by quite a bit.
Well, that just goes along with the line as to why he plays shallow, Jerry. We talk about it so many times.
You know, it's a pet peeve with mine. It should be done by every left fielder here at Fenway Park. You take away base hits. If the ball's over your head, the worst it's going to be is a double. And Manny has the ability. It's not the typical over-the-top outfielder's arm. He gets the ball quick. He's almost like a second baseman or shortstop, and he just flips it in as quick as possible, and it's usually on target. And that's why he picks up a lot of assists. He's got 4 now. A-Rod trying to get his attention out there.
Posada strikes out. Wakefield's back as he strikes out Posada for the second time tonight. 3-2 Yankees on to the bottom of the third.
Best of 3.
Dream on.
The feeling of security you want in your life. That's the power of Fallon Community Health Plan.
You used the card.
No.
Cheater.
Hey, man.
Hey.
Give you a hand?
Sure, yeah. Just take the.
Hey, guys. Check this out. So you pop the top, little tap action, boom. Get the glass. A little something I like to call liquid gold.
Did you see what Mikey brought?
Yeah. I brought a sandwich.
Okay.
got Gouda. Smoked Gouda, actually.
At VIP, we know that when it's time to show your car a little love, you don't want to waste time searching for parts. We have the part you need when you need it. Names like Moog, Bosch, and Fram, always available for the best prices around. VIP has the biggest inventory anywhere, and all our people are car people. They know the part you need, where to find it, and how to install it. Don't waste your time going anywhere else. When you want to get what you're looking for, head to VIP. A little love goes a long way.
Hi, Lisa. Honey. What's that? Oh, it's a smoothie from Dunkin' Donuts. It has low-fat yogurt, vitamin C. It's a snack you can feel good about. Oh, you're right. I do feel good. I feel so good, I don't even mind that you stole my smoothie. I feel so good, I don't even feel awkward about taking it.
Delicious Dunkin' Donuts smoothies, now in tropical fruit. America runs on Dunkin'.
Stop by Dunkin' Donuts and try the new tropical fruit smoothie in pineapple, banana, and coconut flavor.
Find the best things to do in town. Visit boston.com/events. Now packed with 4,000 local events and venues. Living up your calendar. Yeah, liven up your calendar at boston.com/events. You can live it up too, but I would prefer to liven it up.
Last half of the third inning as Mike Lowell leads it off. He came up in a bases loaded situation in the first and grounded into a fielder's choice that forced out Drew at second base to end the inning. And the Red Sox were unable to score in the first. They get 2 off Wang in the second inning. Lowell gets hit.
And it looks like in a bad spot too for Mike Lowell. It looks like he got him off the left hand. And maybe just above the hand on the wrist area. And that's a bad spot for a couple of reasons. No, it's not his throwing hand, but it is the bottom hand on the bat, which of course pulls that bat through the strike zone. And you always worry about broken bones when you get hit in that area.
He's been banged up pretty good lately, fouling a bunch of pitches off his shoe tops. Twice in the same at bat the other night. Looked like for a moment or two maybe coming out of that game the other night, but he has battled through it, and this time hit on the back of the hand. Good runner on for the second straight inning for the Red Sox. This was on Tuesday night. It looked like he'd be coming out after this one. He was down for a while and got up, tried to walk it off. Then later in the at-bat did it again at the exact same spot, and then the next night on Wednesday night. So he's been banged up lately. This time hit on the hand with a pitch.
Yeah, he used that day off yesterday to kind of heal up those foul balls off his foot and his ankle and every place else. Now he gets hit in the wrist.
Fouled off Posada, now a piece of Posada on the foul tip. I'm going to walk it off here a little bit. Umpire giving a little professional courtesy. Not sure where that got Posada. Towards Cano, trying to start 2. Jeter has trouble getting it out, and of course the speed of Crisp down the line at first. He reaches Lowell retired.
Yeah, the only other option for Cano would have been to try to tag Lowell going to second base, and what Lowell would have done is probably just drop to his knees to make it hard to tag him. So they go for the 4-sided second. They're not going to get the double play on Coco Crisp. Either way, they got problems on that ground ball.
A 1 out, crisp at first base, and it brings up Doug Mirabelli. Popped out to Robinson Cano at second base, first time up. Wang's already at 54 pitches through 2 1/3 innings. Most he's ever thrown in an outing this season, 114 pitches. That was against the Red Sox back on May 21st. And just a 6 1/3 effort. There goes Crisp on the pitch. It's outside for a ball. Throw down is going to be not in time. Coco Crisp steals second base.
Here's a case again, Don, where another middle infielder creeping up in front of that bag at second base, and I think it might have cost Cano. Gets a pretty good jump. Here's the throw. Now watch Cano come up in front of the bag. He sweeps at him. Now, that ball was tailing, I guess, in a little bit toward Coco Crisp. It may have made Cano creep up, but boy, ideally, you'd like to be able to straddle that bag. It's quicker that way.
Swing and a miss for Mirabelli. Now, as a middle infielder, kind of waiting. How hard is it to sit back there and wait? It must seem like an eternity for that ball to get there.
Yeah, you see, Robinson Cano there made no intention to straddle the bag, and then generally you make the adjustment. You straddle and come get the baseball. He was just heading in front of the bag. And, you know, sometimes you get in habits because catchers throw tail, and they might be too short sometimes, so you get in that bad habit, but it is a bad habit to get into. It is much quicker to wait at the bag for the ball to get to you. It gets to you quicker than coming up and then trying to sweep tap.
It gets Crisp into scoring position with 1 down in the inning. And a count of 2-1 to Doug Mirabelli. Cano playing close to the bag. And creeping in. Mirabelli chops it left side and through the hole. Crisp had to wait. So he will now just get to third base on the single for Mirabelli, who had been 1 for his last 22 before getting that single well placed through the left side.
First with the 1 out, you got to make sure the ball gets through. If you're Coco Crisp, it does, and as far as he can go is third base.
So tying run 90 feet away. Red Sox have him at first and third with 1 away. And Dustin Pedroia doubled his first time up.
You see Posada giving signs to his middle infielders. Now you would think with Mirabelli at first highly unlikely he's going to steal, but the reason for the signs, the possibility of a double steal. It's not the guy at first you're worried about. It's the speed at third base. Of course, the Red Sox don't do that very often.
Yankees led tonight 3-0. Red Sox got 2 runs back in the bottom of the second inning. And now threatening here in the last of the third. Wang with an 8-inning effort last time out in a loss against the Angels. Losing 3-1 through 109 pitches. Gave up 3 runs in his 8 innings of work. Ground ball base hit. From third base comes Crisp. Red Sox have tied the game at 3. Mirabelli's headed for third. He'll get there on the second double of the night for Dustin Pedroia.
Couldn't see what happened down in that corner with Matsui, but it looked like Mirabelli was going to stop around second base. Pedroia, the topspin ground ball down the third baseline by Rodriguez, and it rolls all the way to the 310. Matsui looked like he fell down in that corner, and that's when Mirabelli decided to go on at third base. Wow. Made the backhanded play and crashed hard into that padding down in left field.
So second and third now. Red Sox have erased the 3-run deficit they were dealing with. Mirabelli at third, Pedroia at second, and Julio Lugo the batter. Third inning, and already the third time that Lugo has faced Wang tonight. He struck out in the first inning, grounded out second base in the second, but picked up his 31st RBI on the ground out. Red Sox 4 for 8 tonight with runners in scoring position. Pitch outside, it's 2-1. Now Joe Torre with 1,995 career victories needs 5 wins to become the 10th manager in Major League history to reach the 2,000 win plateau. He needs just 14 wins to tie Leo DeRocha for 9th place on baseball's all-time list. A Hall of Fame manager, and you have to wonder if the Yankees do not bode well in this series, whether he or his boss, Brian Cashman, will be around. This one top foul, and it evens up now at 2-2.
Well, there's already been, what, 2 votes of confidence so far this year coming from Tampa,
which can be the kiss of death at times.
A 3-game sweep by the Red Sox would put, I think, a lot of that in jeopardy. Yeah. As I mentioned, years ago, 20 years ago, they probably would have had 3 managers already.
Yes. And maybe the guy that he fired first will be back by now.
Which doesn't necessarily make it right.
No. Did any of those work where he fired Billy, brought Billy back?
Yeah.
I mean, they were successful in the midst of a season.
$5 billion in '78 and brought Bob Lemon in, and they beat us.
Looked okay. Pitch outside on the full count. Yeah, I often wait to hear your response to the different radio shows you do and things when people ask you and they say, boy, the Yankees are 13.5 games back right now. Are they done? I notice your answers. I wait for your answer because I know you've already been through this once before. You know they are not done.
I'm very cautious. But I don't see Ron Guidry around there either.
No, that's true. So on tap foul, still 3-2.
What did Patino say? Ron Guidry's not walking through that door. Now Roger Clemens is on Monday, but Ron Guidry is not walking through that door to pitch.
Well, the day that they announced the signing of Clemens, they were 5.5 back. The time that it's taken Roger to get ready, he'll be ready to go on Monday against the White Sox. They are now 13.5 games back.
How about that year?
That's pretty good.
Huh?
Not bad. How many of those strikeouts for Jerry Remy of the 248? Do you remember?
Plenty.
Lugo reaches out, taps it foul down the first baseline.
I mean, think about those numbers. 25-3.
Now, he's not a big guy, Louisiana Lightning, from what it looks like, but he got it there pretty good.
He had an excellent fastball and an excellent slider. You're not afraid to put your back on your backside to make that slider a little bit bigger on the outside corner. But a 1.74 ERA in the American League. That's Pedro kind of numbers, you know.
Full count to Lugo with 1 out of the inning. Runners at second and third. Lugo asking for time late. Nora saying something to him. It's happened quite a bit for Julio Lugo this season. Chopped at third. Rodriguez is coming home with it, and they got Mirabelli hung up. They will apply the tag. As to third base and behind him, Pedroia had taken the bag. Mirabelli's gone as A-Rod comes home with it.
Mirabelli could not get hung up in that rundown long enough to allow Lugo to get to second base. He stops and slips. And then Posada runs him straight back, all the way back, and tags him himself. In the meantime, Lugo has to stay at first base.
Well, first and third now with 2 down. Kevin Youkilis coming up. Grounded out to short in the first, walked in the second inning. Picked in the backhand by Posada. It's ball 1. Well, since the Yankees' last game, we have heard dissected over and over again the play in Toronto in which Alex Rodriguez yelled something out on his way by, and the left side of the Toronto Blue Jays infield came undone. John McDonald and Howie Clark. And listening to some of your responses before the game, it sounds like it was pretty common some years ago for that to happen on a regular basis.
Yeah, I really don't know what the big deal is about that. I mean, unless you've had your head in the sand, that stuff happens quite often, unless it's just completely stopped the last few years. I mean, we're up here, we can't hear it, but I know in my playing time that happened all the time. And if you're dumb enough to fall for it, shame on you.
So not unusual to have a guy run by and scream mine or I got it.
I got it. People have run by me. I got it. Now, if you don't know the voice of your shortstop or your second baseman, and I mean, you've got to know that. And in my opinion, I blame Toronto. Now, if you don't like it, there's ways to take care of it. You know, pitcher can take care of it some way to point if they don't like what he did. But
there goes a runner at first in Lugo. It's a ball, no throw from Posada, and he takes second base.
This is the episode up in Toronto that people are talking about, and as he runs by, he yells out like he's got it. Whatever the heck he said, you know, I mean, mine. That's mine. So, I mean, if people think that's something new in baseball, please. You ought to hear when a first baseman or third baseman goes toward the dugout to try to make a catch, or how about a second baseman and shortstop deking a runner,
right?
On a fly ball to the outfield.
Sure, Francona was saying before the game, there are so many gray areas in that rule book.
Now, like I said, if you're the opposing team and you take exception to it, there are ways to deal with it. And generally comes from the pitcher on your club. That's how you deal with it. But don't tell me that that's something new in baseball.
Something in there about deceiving the runner and all kinds of language. How about the hidden ball trick? I mean, there's so many different things of deceiving the runner.
Never pull a hidden ball trick on a guy that's bigger than you, because you get your lights punched out after you tag him out.
At third base, Dustin Pedroia. Julio Lugo's at second base with 2 down. Wang at 72 pitches with 2 outs here in the third inning. Full count now to Youkilis.
Now that one I don't believe is close as the one in the last at bat to Youkilis. Posada thought maybe that was a strike, but I don't think it was as close as the other one. This one appears to be more down and away than the one that was not called in the second at bat.
Second and third, 2 down. The 3-2 pitch to Youkilis. Grounded left side. Jeter off balance and in time to get Youkilis to end the inning. The Red Sox do get a run back and tie the game. We played 3, tied at 3.
Now, life without Roadrunner.
Game over.
Dude, what's the deal? You just got owned. Thanks to you. It's not me, Chief. It's your DSL. You want an online advantage? You need Roadrunner High Speed Online. How can I compete without Roadrunner? One word for you. Not gonna happen. BAM! Again!
Call 1-800-833-2253 to get special savings on Roadrunner High Speed Online. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
They've got the sharpest pencil in town. Have they just sit around that showroom figuring deals and whittling that old pencil down? They know that if you buy once, you're gonna be back So instead of buying one, you're buying two, and that's a fact. They've got the sharpest pencil in town.
So come on down, neighbor. The coffee pot's on.
In the spirit of goodwill towards our competitors, we'd like to openly share our trade secrets. Step 1, bake the bread fresh in store daily. Step 2, make the sandwich fresh in front of the customer. Any questions?
We were in an emergency situation. We don't have extra. We have a little bit of water and a little bit of food. A meeting place, no.
No. For the family to meet?
No.
Now on sale for the second annual Futures at Fenway doubleheader at Fenway Park on August 11th. The low price twin bill is presented by Filene's Basement and Futures Beaches, the Portland and Lowell clubs this year. See RedSox.com for details. It was a big success a year ago.
Yes. These games were very well attended. The day-nighter as there is Robinson Cano to begin things in the fourth. Cano, Abreu, and Phelps here in the top half of the fourth inning. In a 3-3 game now. Long wait for Tim Wakefield. Cano hit a 2-run home run off Wakefield in the second inning, and now lines one into center field. So he's 2 for 2 tonight. A 22-minute wait for Tim Wakefield while the Red Sox were getting that tying run. And he's at 51 pitches as he faces his second batter of the fourth inning, Bobby Abreu. In the dirt off of Mirabelli, kicks up third base on Wakefield. Will actually run it down, but not before Cano runs to second. Pass ball charged to Doug Mirabelli.
A tough pass ball. I mean, anytime the knuckleball bounces, very tough, difficult to give the catcher the pass ball on that. Well, Mirabelli, well, probably could have been called that way. Yep. Now that you look at it the second time. I thought that ball bounced in front of him. It did not. Regardless, Cano moves into scoring position.
Bobby Abreu with a double. First time up, came around to score the third Yankees run. Wakefield falling behind 3-0. Abreu was hit in 5 different spots in the Yankees batting order this season, the most different spots since 1999 when he appeared in 5 different spots for the Philadelphia Phillies. And tonight batting 7th for Joe Torre.
Surprising thing about Abreu, well, 2 things. His average at 228 coming in, but only 24 walks. And Abreu's a guy that usually is up the top of the league in walks.
He's gone a career high 61 plate appearances without a walk. So finally getting one on May 13th at Seattle to break up that string. He thought he had another walk, but gets the bad news from Brian O'Nora.
I think Abreu trying to steal a call here because this clearly looks like a strike.
Led the majors last year in base on balls with 124. And gets the walk this time. Let's check in with Tom Caron. TC.
Donna, New England started to deal a game break in Chicago. Carlos Zambrano, the pitcher, Michael Parra, the catcher, clearly not on the same page. Zambrano didn't like a pass ball and an error from his catcher. His catcher pointed up to the scoreboard, and away we go. The Cubs saying both men will be disciplined. Lou Piniella in the middle of it all. Guys, back to you.
Not getting along in Chicago as we're in the top half of the fourth inning, tied 3-3. Runners at first and second, nobody out.
You know, I haven't seen the clip of that. We can't see it here during the game, but from my understanding, Zambrano just let him clock his catcher, right?
Tried to get at him.
Now, wasn't Barrett the guy that clocked Krasinski last year?
Yes, yep. He's been involved in a few things. You ever seen that where a pitcher and catcher have gone after each other in a dugout?
In clubhouses, not in the dugout. Sometimes down on the runway.
Inside, and he hits him.
Well, I think again you're going to see quickly some action down in that Red Sox bullpen as Wakefield has a pretty easy third inning and then very quickly in trouble here in the fourth. The base hit, walk, hit batter.
Red Sox Yankees coverage on NESN is brought to you by Hess and Hess Express. Well, bases loaded, nobody out situation here for New York in a 3-3 game. And Melky Cabrera batting. Cabrera walked in the second inning, an inning in which Tim Wakefield walked 4 batters. He has walked a batter this inning, so 5 base on balls allowed by Wakefield, and look out. Having trouble handling it right now. That looked like a breaking ball that slipped.
It is. He tried to snap off a curveball that didn't curve.
So a foul back to the backstop. And it's 1-2. Wakefield has walked 5 once before. 6 is the most walks he's had, and that was actually against the Yankees at New York on April 28th. This one gets away from Marabelli from third base. Comes Cano to give the Yankees a 4-3 lead. So third base goes Abreu. Phelps to second on the wild pitch.
And now it looks like the call will go down to the bullpen. We'll see if Snyder pops up for the second time tonight. It is Kyle Snyder.
Well, the numbers have not been pretty for Tim Wakefield against these Yankees lately. He's lost his last 2 starts against New York, both in New York, April 28th and on May 21st. He's lost each of his last 3 starts against the Yankees, and is 1-7 with a 6.00 earned run average in his last 9 starts beginning May 27th of 2005. He's failed to work at least 7 innings in each of his last 4 starts against the Yankees. Chopped down the third baseline. It'll go foul. And Cabrera's got to come on back to standing on first base. Full count to Cabrera with Abreu at third base and Phelps at second base. To center field and in for a hit. From third base comes Abreu. They will stop Phelps at third as the throw is cut off, and the Yankees on top 5-3.
Now Cabrera back-to-back curveballs. One he taps down the third base line foul. This one he reaches to the outside part of the plate and drops it into center field. So 2 3-2 curveballs from Wakefield. That one toward the end of the bat, but right into center field for the base hit.
Here comes Johnny Damon. He bats with runners now at first and third. Still nobody out in the inning. Damon grounded out to second base in the first, walked with the bases loaded in the second to pick up his 18th RBI. So the Yankees had a 3-0 advantage. Red Sox tied it up 3-3. New York answers quickly. We're in the top half of the fourth with a pair. This one gets away from Marabelli. From third base comes Phelps. No throw. And it's 6-3 New York. They're up to second base. Pass ball, second of the inning.
Yeah, you've had a run score in this inning on a wild pitch, and now the pass ball. Right off the top of the catcher's mitt and off the shoulder of Mirabelli. And the feel for Wakefield just not there tonight.
Pitch 70 for Tim Wakefield. And it's 3-0 now to Johnny Damon. So they've been up a couple of innings ago back in the second inning. And up again as there's a strike. 3-1 now to Damon. Popped up. Pedroia for the first out of the inning. 37 balls to 35 strikes. And 72 pitches thrown tonight by Tim Wakefield. There's walked 5. Has hit about him. And so far touched for 6 runs. As he gets into the heart of this Yankees order, Derek Jeter is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to third base twice last time. Into the 5-4-3 inning-ending double play to end the second inning. Started Fenway against the Yankees for Tim Wakefield since May 23rd of last year. So fouled off. Let's check out the question tonight, the Aflac trivia question. Which 3 players did the Yankees trade to the Blue Jays for Roger Clemens on February 18th of 1999? I'll have the answer for you a little bit later. 2-1 now to Jeter. Last 4 starts for Tim Wakefield against these Yankees at home. He's 0-3 with a 6.83 earned run average coming in. And has not defeated the Yankees here at Fenway Park since April 11th of 2005. Left side, Lugo. The throw, dugout at first base by Youkilis in time to get Jeter. No advance for Cabrera. And there's 2 down in the inning. Well, it's Yankees and Red Sox from Fenway Park. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, and Tina Cervasio bringing you Boston Red Sox baseball in high definition and Dolby Digital 5.1 surround sound on Nesson. Yankees led 3-0. So they grabbed 3 in the second inning. Robinson Cano with a 2-run home run. Red Sox came back with 2 in the second, 1 in the third inning. RBIs for Lugo, Ortiz, and Pedroia. The Yankees have so far scored 3 times here in the top of the 4th to take a 6-3 lead. Melky Cabrera at second base and Hideki Matsui at the plate.
Now, 3 of the 6 runs that the Yankees have scored, 1 has been on a walk to Johnny Damon, a wild pitch, and a pass ball.
In the dirt, picked on the backhand that time by Mirabelli, and it's 2-0. Matsui is grounded out to first and grounded back to the mound. (3-0). Alex Rodriguez on deck. Pitch 80 for Tim Wakefield. And it's a strike, 3-1.
Found himself in a lot of counts tonight where he's had to throw that fastball and curveball, which he normally does when he's behind in counts. 2-0, 3-1, 3-0.
Ball 4 and another walk allowed by Tim Wakefield. Matsui down to first base. That's 6 walks to tie a season high. And that's going to be it for Tim Wakefield as Terry Francona makes his way out. He's had Kyle Snyder up in the bullpen. And Wakefield just did not have it tonight. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by your local Ford store. Every journey begins with a bold move. Start your journey today by visiting your local Ford store. Kyle Snyder will be on when we come back to Fenway. It's now 6-3 New York.
Hey, man.
Hey.
Give you a hand?
Sure, yeah. Just take the. Oh, no. Hey, guys.
Check this out. So you pop the top, little tap action, boom. Get the glass. A little something I like to call liquid gold.
Did you see what Mikey brought?
Yeah.
I brought a sandwich.
Okay.
It's got Gouda. Smoked Gouda, actually.
Hey, Jen, how's the banking business?
You mean cashing other people's big paychecks? It's depressing. I can't believe how much some people make, including you.
I make good money because I went back to school and got my degree. You can do the same thing.
I've been thinking about it, but I have no idea where to start.
My husband used this great new service called Education Connection to find an online master's program. It is so fantastic. They do all the work for you and it's free. They help you choose a program and even match you to the best schools.
Education Connection's amazing free service does all the work for you. We search hundreds of accredited colleges and universities and thousands of programs so you don't have to. We can even help match your personality to the right career. We make finding the best schools easy.
Hey, Karen, you're so right about Education Connection. They're great. You'll be cashing your own big check soon.
Let Education Connection find the right school for you. It's free, so call 800-220-3034 or log on to oneeducationadvising.com now.
If next week's late starts on the West Coast road trip have you up past your bedtime, don't worry about missing the action. Just tune to Breakfast with Sox each morning at 8 for a 1-hour replay of the previous night's late game. Have your breakfast with the Sox this Tuesday through Thursday mornings at 8 after the Sox take on the Oakland Athletics.
A 6-3 Yankees lead now with 2 outs in the top half of the 4th inning. And Tim Wakefield chased from the game. Kyle Snyder in.
17th appearance for Snyder. He is a record of 1-0. His last outing coming on the 30th against Cleveland a couple of days ago, inning in a third. In that game, 2 hits allowed. He had 1 walk and a couple of strikeouts. So very few times on the season have the Red Sox had to go to the bullpen at this stage of the game. And it's pretty clear that the touch was not there tonight for Tim Wakefield. Could never really get into a groove with that knuckleball.
Goes just 3 2/3, and is still responsible for the runners on. It's Cabrera at second base, Matsui at first base, and Alex Rodriguez at the plate. He's been on twice tonight. A walk in the second, then singled in the third, was thrown out. And Manny Ramirez at second base trying to stretch it into a double. The Yankees coming in tonight with 55 home runs. A-Rod's got 19 of the 55 Yankee home runs this season. And he can add another with the home run by Robinson Cano tonight. But without A-Rod's production in the month of April, you have to wonder where the Yankees would be. I mean, he kind of carried the Yankees there for that long stretch. The 1-1. Breaking ball in there for a strike. May has pulled him down. And next June will be like April was when he hit 355 14 of the 19 home runs coming in that first month. 34 runs batted in the month of April. And the on-base percentage of .415. And it gets him down to first base to load the bases. Second batter hit in the inning. Wakefield hit Phelps. Now Snyder hits Rodriguez.
Now they try to pitch Alex Rodriguez inside with hard stuff, and this time ahead in the count. Snyder tries to come in, and looks like it just gets a piece of Rodriguez. Hard to tell where that hit.
So bases loaded, 2 down, 9th man to bat in the inning. It's Jorge Posada, struck out twice against Tim Wakefield. Career .316 hitter with the bases loaded.
Posada, who's led the league in hitting for a long time, is now tied coming in tonight's action with Vladdy Guerrero.
Yankees as a team coming into tonight hitting a .272. That's good for 7th in the American League. Pitch inside, 1-1. Been involved in some tight games this season and have not fared well in one-run games. In fact, worst in the American League. They're 2-10 in one-run games. Second only in the majors to the Cubs, who are 2-12 over the National League in one-run contests. Out towards left center. This is trouble as it's headed to the gap. It will play Cabrera, Matsui, and A-Rod coming around. The throw to the plate is cut off. Bases clearing double for Posada, and it's a 9-3 New York lead as they so far have scored 6 times here in the 4th.
Now Posada picking up his 31st, 2nd, and 3rd RBI in the season as he takes that outside pitch and finds that gap in left center field. And the Yankees are out here this afternoon taking early batting practice, and almost the whole club was out there. Posada being one of them. Jeter's certainly another.
Matsui was there too. Yankees, like the Red Sox, had yesterday off. And all out there early today. They batted around here in the 4th inning. Some grounded foul off the bat of Cano. 2 hits tonight, the 2-run home run, and then a single. So the Red Sox had tied the score 3-3 coming into this inning, but Joe Torre's Yankees put a 6th spot on the board here so far in the 4th. Wakefield ends up being charged with 8 runs in 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, walked 6, and strikes out 2. One and one now to Robinson Cano. Posada was glad to see Wakefield lead. Struck out twice against the knuckleballer tonight. Only strikeouts that Wakefield had in his outing. To right field, J.D. Drew. And the end of the inning, the Yankees score 6 times in the 4th, take a 9-3 lead.
If you owe over $10,000 to the IRS or state, call American Tax Relief for a free consultation. We've helped thousands of Americans settle their tax debt for a fraction of what they owed.
Once we hired American Tax Relief, the IRS stopped contacting us. That was an immediate relief.
And they settled our tax debt for a fraction of what we owed.
If you owe over $10,000 to the IRS or state, we can help you settle for less, maybe a lot less.
Call 800-294-1563 for your free consultation.
You think it's not going to happen to you? Well, take it from me, it can.
And whether it's a broken bone or appendicitis or cancer, you can't afford to suddenly pay a huge bill. You need health insurance. That's why Massachusetts is now requiring everyone to have it. And they're making it more affordable and easier to get through the state's health connector. Call them or go online. Get information, compare plans, choose the one that's right for you. Hey, don't wait till it's too late.
Have you heard about the benefits of a reverse mortgage? If you're a homeowner, 62 years or older, and would like to supplement your monthly income, a reverse mortgage could be the key to living comfortably in retirement. U.S. government-insured reverse mortgages allow seniors to convert the equity in their home into cash without having to move or make monthly loan payments. We offer a free information kit and video explaining everything you need to know about a reverse mortgage.
Call 800-300-4519.
Hey, man.
Hey.
Give you a hand?
Sure, yeah. Just take the, oh.
No.
Hey, guys.
Check this out. So you pop the top, little tap action, boom, get the glass. A little something I like to call liquid gold.
Did you see what Mikey brought?
Yeah, I brought a sandwich.
Okay.
It's got Gouda. Smoked Gouda, actually.
Back at Fenway, and time now for the answer to our Athletic trivia question. Which three players did the Yankees trade to the Blue Jays for Roger Clemens on February 18th of '99? Homer Bush, Graham Lloyd, and Boomer David Wells. Seasons with the Blue Jays: Bush, 1999 through 2002. He retired in 2004. Graham Lloyd, 1999, and retired in 2003. And then David Wells was with Toronto 99 and 2000. Of course, now doing his business with the Padres. The first pitch strike to David Ortiz. Complexion of this one has changed for Chein Wang, as the target has been set for Big Poppy.
That's a long way, but it's reachable for Poppy if it's where I think it is in center field.
Oh yeah, that's obtainable.
Oh yeah, we've seen many a home run go in that direction.
Ortiz been on twice tonight, walked in the first. Single to knock in a run in the second inning. And sends one foul off to the left. Ortiz, Ramirez, and Drew expected here in the bottom of the fourth inning against Chein Wang. He's up to 77 pitches as he works to the first batter here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Right back at him and into center field. He gets through Wang, and Ortiz on for the third time tonight, his second hit.
Well, once again, Ortiz and Ramirez doing their job against Wang. That ball stays outside part of the plate. Wang can't come up with it. And of course, the Yankees don't put that full shift on David Ortiz, and he heads up the middle for the base hit.
The key matchup is brought to you by Killian's. And against Wang, 13 for 21 with a couple of home runs. The .619 batting average. Strike one to Manny. Manny single to center, single to right. There's 2 of 8 Boston hits. Red Sox out hitting the Yankees 8-6. The trail 9-3. Strike 2, and it's 0-2. Action in the Yankees pen for the first time tonight. Luis Vizcaino.
Well, Red Sox have seen a lot of him so far this season.
Sure have. On the ground left side, Jeter ranging to the hole, goes to second for one, on to first, a double play. Step or two towards third base, but still able to turn it.
Very quick release by Jeter on the ground ball to his second baseman Cano, and gave him plenty of time to turn it over. Going to the backhand, but look how quick he gets rid of that. Cano with the flip to first base and plenty of time to get Ramirez.
That's the 9th double play grounded into by Manny Ramirez. It's the most on the team. Yeah, with 2 away, here's J.D. Drew. Right side to Cano. And it's an 8-pitch inning for Chein Ming Wang. He needed that. And as we've now played 4, it's a 9-3 Yankees lead.
What if whales watched where they were going? They don't. That's why Irving does. We moved the shipping lane to avoid endangered right whales. Working with the New England Aquarium to find a safe solution. Giving nature the right of way. That's my what if.
Introducing new Pepsi Summer Mix, the great taste of Pepsi with a mix of tropical fruit flavor. Now available at Cumberland Farms.
Spring is outdoor cleaning time. Here are some questions from Briggs & Stratton to help you select the pressure washer that's best for you. First, what are you planning to clean? How large is your project? And how often do you plan on using your pressure washer? Generally, the higher the pressure and flow, the faster and the more effective you can clean. Also, high-performance pressure washers are more durable for frequent use. Look for a reliable engine that starts easily and has the power you need. For more information, visit outdoorcleaning.com.
Hi, Lisa. Honey. What's that? Oh, it's a smoothie from Dunkin' Donuts. It has low-fat yogurt, vitamin C. It's a snack you can feel good about. Oh, you're right. I do feel good. I feel so good, I don't even mind that you stole my smoothie. I feel so good, I don't even feel awkward about taking it.
Delicious Dunkin' Donuts smoothies, now in tropical fruit. America runs on Dunkin'.
Stop by Dunkin' Donuts and try the new tropical fruit smoothie in pineapple, banana, and coconut flavor.
The limited edition Don and Jerry Bobble Desk is back by popular demand. Go online to get yours from Nesson Store and check out your other great Nesson apparel and accessories, including hats, sweatshirts, and t-shirts featuring original Nesson designs. Shop online at the Nesson Store today. Again, that's nessonstore.com to get yours. Well, it's a 9-3 Yankees lead as we head to the top half of the 5th inning. Back out there is Kyle Snyder. And it's Abreu, Phelps, and Cabrera. Red Sox have made a switch defensively in the infield. Kevin Youkilis moving from first to third base. Mike Lowell, who got hit on the wrist, leaves the game, and Eric Kinski is in the game over at first base.
I'm pretty sure Lowell will have to get x-rays taken of that wrist after being hit by the pitch.
This is where Mike Lowell was hit and stayed in the game. In his glove hand, but nevertheless, a lot of little bones in there you can fracture in a hurry. Yes, this pitch in there for a strike. Abreu doubled in the second inning, walked in the fourth. He scored twice tonight. Phelps on deck with one away. With none away. 1-2 the count. Towards left center field. Back goes Crisp. This will take him to the track, and it's going to grab the wall. The ricochet quickly, and Crisp gets it back in a hurry, but it is a leadoff double for Bobby Abreu here in the 5th.
Third time that Abreu has been on tonight. 2 doubles and a walk. This one looks like he's way on his front foot on the curveball from Kyle Snyder, but the hands are able to stay back, and he drives that ball up deep off that left field wall. This is more like the Bobby Abreu we're accustomed to seeing through his years in the National League.
Third time he's been on tonight. 2nd double. And it brings up Josh Phelps. Walked in the 2nd, hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. He's been on twice without the benefit of a hit. Almost got hit again.
Remember last year, Bobby Abreu, when he got traded over here to the Yankees, and of course the Yankees had that 5-game sweep here at Fenway Park. Abreu was 9 for 17 in that series.
And it looked like a great move at the time for the Yankees. This season has not been great for Abreu. And as you pointed out earlier, not only not hitting, but not walking, something that he's been accustomed to, getting on base a great deal.
I must say, this is a little bit surprising, and having Phelps bunt in this situation. They do have the 6-run lead, which of course in this ballpark can change very quickly. But it seems odd in a game like this, where there have been so many runs scored so far, you'd be playing for 1.
Not bunting this time as he takes a pitch. 2-1. Well, certainly the disabled list has been an issue for the Yankees. 15 players, 16 different trips to the disabled list. And Jeff Karstens has been on twice. Jason Giambi, the most recent place on the disabled list, and we could be without him for 3 months. The foot injury. So he hurt it rounding the bases on a home run in Toronto. And that's certainly a big bat out of the Yankees lineup. Giambi had been hitting at .262 this season, 7 homers and 23 runs batted in 45 games for New York. Full count to Phelps. Breaking ball to left. Ramirez headed back, will make the catch. Kind of a late lunge, twists and fires back into the infield. Josh Phelps retired for the first out of the inning.
Well, again, Manny playing shallow, but had to backtrack about 3 or 4 steps to make that catch. It looked like one that might get over his head, but no, he's able to cover the ground and take the base hit away from Phelps. Tune in all season long for the Bob Stores easy as 1, 2, 3 strikeout. Bob Stores is your destination for Red Sox gear, top brand footwear, and casual clothing for the entire family. Bob Stores, official apparel store of the Boston Red Sox.
The 1, 2, 3 strikeout is if one of the Red Sox pitchers strikes out a batter on 3 pitches. 1 out, Abreu at second base, and here's Melky Cabrera, who has been on twice from the number 9 spot. The Yankees order a walk and a single. Also knocked in a run back in the 4th inning, part of a 6-run inning for New York. It is not the New York Yankees who are in second place in behind the Red Sox. It's the Baltimore Orioles, who have won 6 games in a row. They're on the West Coast as they took on the Angels last night. able to beat the Angels. They are now back at the 500 mark at 27-27.
And the first team other than the Red Sox to be at 500 or above. Well, now Cabrera, who had hit right-handed against Wakefield, switches around to the left side against Kyle Snyder.
3-0. Tim Wakefield walked 6 in 3 2/3 innings tonight, charged with 8 runs. They're all earned. And 5 hits, and he struck out 2. Wakefield on the hook coming into tonight's action, 5 and 5. Ball 4 and a 4-pitch walk to Melky Cabrera. 7th walk given up tonight by Red Sox pitching.
Well, walks against any good lineup are going to get you, and it certainly hasn't helped the Red Sox in this game tonight.
And John Farrell making his way to the mound. Nobody is up in the Red Sox pen, as they need Kyle Snyder to log a couple innings here.
The San Francisco Giants will play their first ever series at Fenway Park next month, and you have a chance to witness this historic occasion from the Green Monster seats. The Red Sox Foundation is auctioning off Green Monster ticket packages for the Saturday, June 16th game that include a chance to watch batting practice from the Monster seats, complimentary food and beverages, and much more. To enter, be a chance to win and benefit the Red Sox Foundation. Visit redsox.com and click the Foundation Ticket Auction link.
First and second, one down for Johnny Damon. The Red Sox pitching has offered up 7 walks and have hit 2 batters. Of the 9, 5 have scored. Both hit batters have scored, and 3 of the 7 walks so far coming around to score. Damon walked. He was back in the second. Otherwise, he's grounded out to second base and popped to second. Action in the Red Sox pen is J.C. Romero. Romero's had trouble lately, giving up 3 runs in his last inning of work. In 2 appearances, Damon rolls it foul outside of first, and it's 1-2. J.C. had been rolling there for a while, went 9 2/3 innings without giving up a run in 11 games, but 3 runs in the last 2 outings. Brayu at second base, Cabrera at first, 1 down here in the top half of the 5th inning. Runners go as Damon takes a ball. Mirabelli's throw. Youkilis applies the tag for the out. The gun down to Brayu at third base. And Torrey will argue this.
Now Larry Bowa started the argument. He felt Abreu had it stolen, and quickly Torrey pops out of the dugout. The LoJack Caught Stealing Sweepstakes is back again for another season. Visit LoJack.com/caught-stealing for details. To enter to win, LoJack, the only stolen vehicle recovery system operated by the police.
So now the runner at second is Cabrera. The 2-2 to Damon is slapped foul off to the left.
You know, with the left-handed hitter at the plate, it's a free shot for Mirabelli at third base. Let's take a look. Oh, I think Abreu had it. Looks like the foot's on the bag before the tag is applied by Youkilis. So a legitimate argument there by Bowa and Torrey.
Popped up foul again, backing out of play. 2-2. Let's go to Tina Cervasio.
All right, Don, Mike Lowell has a left hand contusion. X-rays were negative, so it's good news there. So what everyone should do, just stay tuned to WB Mason's Extra Innings, and we'll keep you updated on Mike Lowell's hand. But right now they're diagnosing it as a left hand contusion.
Okay, Tina. Thanks for the update. That's certainly good news. 2-2, the count to Damon. We're at second base, 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th inning. Down and in, and a full count now to Damon. In the last 5 appearances, Kyle Snyder's gone 5 1/3 scoreless. A record of 1-0, 0.63 earned run average. It's a total of 1 earned run in 14 1/3. So far, he has been charged with 1 run. So he had Alex Rodriguez, the first batter he faced, and he came around to score. The 9th Yankees run as part of the 6-run 4th inning, with 8 of the 9 runs being charged to the Red Sox starter tonight, Tim Wakefield. Damon takes ball 4. And it's 8 walks now for Red Sox pitching in the 2nd of the inning. First and second, 2 down. And here's Derek Jeter, 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice to third base, once to short. And a quiet trip so far, 2 for 14. First in the series against the Blue Jays. And now here against the Red Sox, he offers at the first pitch. Yankees had lost 5 games in a row until they were able to grab the victory in the final game of the series at Rogers Center against Toronto. Beat the Blue Jays 10-5 in that last game. Line to left field, a base hit. Cabrera stopped at third base by Larry Boa, and the Yankees have him loaded now, 2 down in the 5th.
Well, the Yankees have had big innings almost all night long. A 1-2-3 first inning, and then of course in the 3rd inning it was a base hit that Manny threw A-Rod out at second base. But there have been a ton of base runners tonight for New York, and it looks like Terry Francona with Matsui cutting the plate is going to go to J.C. Romero.
So the Red Sox will use their 3rd pitcher of the game. Romero will be in when we come back to Fenway Park. It's 9-3 Yankees.
Hey. What? We've been waiting here all day. So have I. No. I was here first. That's cardboard cutout. That don't count. You have to go in the back.
Introducing revolutionary performance headwear from New Era. Get it at Olympia Sports.
No. It's okay. I'm the MVP. I get to go in first.
Do you need a home loan? Let us help you today. Here at the National Mortgage Center, you are our valued customer. Imagine having up to 3 banks competing for your business.
It's true. I made one fast and easy phone call, I was approved, and I received 3 great offers to refinance my home.
Homeowners, wouldn't you prefer the banks competing for your business? Call this number right now and receive up to 3 free quotes for your home loan needs.
I was dangerously in debt. My credit was in the low 500s. But after one quick phone call, I was approved for 3 life-changing offers. And now I'm debt-free.
Cash in today. Get money for debt consolidation, home improvements, even vacations. Our banks have the lowest rates in the industry. Poor credit? No problem. Call our loan hotline today and receive up to 3 free quotes.
It's that easy. The National Mortgage Center helped me. They can help you too.
All homeowners are approved for up to 3 free quotes. So call our 24-hour...
Back at Fenway with some fireworks in between innings, and Joe Torre has been ejected.
Yeah, I think what happened is there was some, they probably saw the replay of the Abreu steal at third base, and there was some yapping going on from the dugout. This is the play that I think started it all, and Abreu looked like he was safe on that. Crawford calling him out. And then when the pitching change was being made, I looked up and I saw Joe down at third base, and that's what I saw. He got thrown out. And this went on for quite some time of both guys, Crawford and Torre, getting each other's face.
The second time that Joe Torre has been ejected this season. The first time was an automatic ejection. And Scott Proctor threw at one of the Seattle Mariners. And that led to a suspension, 1 game. I don't see Joe Torre get as fired up very often.
You know what happens a lot of times, Don? You know, somebody in the clubhouse will see the replay. They'll come back down to the dugout, and they'll start yelling from the dugout out at the third base umpire, "You missed it, you missed it." And apparently, I'm guessing that Crawford maybe heard of some of that from the dugout. And then, of course, Torre came back out, and that's when Joe was ejected.
So not your average pitching change. As into the game now for the Red Sox is J.C. Romero. He's brought into a bases loaded situation. With 2 outs in the inning, Hideki Matsui the batter.
There you see the numbers for Romero, and the walks have been a problem for him. 13 walks and 16 in the third innings. You mentioned his last outing down, an inning against Cleveland. Had a walk in that game, allowed 2 earned runs.
Matsui is grounded out to first, grounded back to the mound. Walked and scored last time up, last inning. That's a right field and deep. J.D. Drew headed back. This will take him almost to the track as he makes the catch that ends the inning. Yankees leave him loaded. We're halfway through this one. It's 9-3 New York.
Toyota's 50th anniversary celebration is on now with the biggest Toyota selection in history. Check out the Tundra Double Cab, a true workhorse. And the Tundra Crew Max has arrived. It's the most spacious Tundra yet. Right now, you could save with a special Toyota 50th anniversary lease on a Tundra Double Cab. Just $289 a month for 36 months with $19.99 due at signing. Toyota's 50th anniversary celebration ends June 4th. See your New England Toyota dealer now.
Because Geico sounds like gecko. That's it. That's the only reason I'm here. The fact is, if Geico sounded like some other animal, like, I don't know, a puma, sure enough, there'd be some adorable little cat sitting here talking about Geico's low rates.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You can't even imagine the pressure. I mean, I've literally got like 2 seconds to capture your attention while simultaneously informing you that you could save hundreds on car insurance by switching to Geico. Quite frankly, I don't think it's even possible.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hey, man. Hey. Give you a hand? Sure, yeah. Just take the... Hey, guys. Check this out. So you pop the top, little tap action, boom. Get the glass. A little something I like to call liquid gold.
Did you see what Mikey brought?
Yeah. I brought a sandwich.
Okay.
It's got Gouda. Smoked Gouda, actually.
At VIP Parts, Tires, and Service, we know how to show you and your car a little love. Need tires? Our Speed Lane pros help you make the right selection for the best price guaranteed. And we'll install them in under an hour. No wasted time. Just the biggest selection of name brand quality tires. Michelin, Pirelli, Goodyear, and more in stock when you need them. Installed by qualified service techs faster than anywhere. When you need quality name brand tires, make an appointment in our Speed Lane bay. VIP, a little love goes a long way.
9-3. The Yankees on top of the Red Sox last half of the 5th inning. Eric Hinske leading it off, came into the game defensively at first base last inning and bats for the first time tonight.
Well, you know how you know you've always made it big is when you are on the center field scoreboard here at Fenway Park. And of course tonight, Russ Kent, I don't know his new title. What's his new title?
Coordinating producer.
Coordinating producer is celebrating a birthday. And it's a big one.
A big 4-0.
And between innings, that was featured on the Red Sox scoreboard. Now,
prominently, I might add.
That is huge. I mean, that's when that gets up there, that's big stuff.
Yes.
Have you ever been up there, Dan?
No.
Well, happy birthday to Russ.
He fouled off to the left. '40's a big one. I would imagine the 50s
stinks.
Yeah, it's a little tougher.
Things really slide quickly after 50, I noticed.
What?
A number of things that fall off tables.
Right. Yeah. Well, that was your knee, though. I mean, not the average person does not have 12 knee surgeries. At least you hope they don't.
Actually, the 40s are very good. I found those to be very, very, very good years. So I think Russ is going to enjoy his 40s. Plus, he'll be playing in the media game on Sunday here against the Yankee media. And we expect big, big things. I know he's been taking a lot of batting practice over the last couple of days. Tells me he's a catcher by trade, but willing to play anywhere. You know who the manager is of that club?
Carl Bean.
Carl Bean, the voice of Fenway Park, is the manager. And I understand Carl wears a full uniform.
Does he?
To manage. So he takes it very seriously. Now, I think the Red Sox media got romped around a little bit earlier this season at Yankee Stadium, so they're looking for a little revenge.
So they play one here, one there.
9 o'clock start on Sunday morning.
We'll wait for the report on that. I'm trying to get Russ to use my stance, but so far he's not interested.
I would highly recommend, and I'm trying to stay away from any advice, but I would advise him not to use your stance.
It's comfortable and you can hit to all fields with power, but if he chooses not to go that route, it's too bad. Full count. Hinske grounds it softly by the mound. Cano with time. Hinske's out number 1. Let's check back in with Tina Cervasio.
As John Lester continues his rehab assignment in Pawtucket, Nesson's own Catherine Tappan sat down with the lefty to talk about him and how he beat cancer and also how he's getting over these left arm cramps that set him back a couple of weeks ago.
Just getting the consistency back and getting the stamina level built back up to 100 pitches and to where I can throw 5, 6, 7 innings and not be fatigued and wore out. So hopefully we can get there soon and get back up there.
And you can see the entire interview with John Lester this Sunday night on Lights Out. That's Sports Desk Lights Out with Catherine Tappan at 11:25 p.m. only on Nesson.
Thanks, Tina. As Coco Crisp runs up, the show bunt takes a ball. Well, certainly all eyes on John Lester, and what a story it'll be when he returns here to Fenway Park with the Red Sox. And the forearm cramps that took place are gone. We're trying to build that stamina back up again and get to that 100-pitch level. Coming sooner than later. I look forward to seeing John Lester back up here again. One thing took place today before the ball game is there was Vizcaino and the Penjays. The Mike Timlin situation. He pitched last night at Pawtucket, pitched well by all accounts. In fact, Terry Francona and John Farrell were at the ball game last night. Things appear to be very good. However, we hear today, prior to the ball game, that Mike Timlin's going to have at least one more rehab and most likely 2, the way it sounds like it is mapped out now. That seems like a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, that did surprise me. Having a good outing last night and being watched by Francona and Farrell, I believe, down at Pawtucket. And Terry pretty much said it was going to be 2 more.
Yeah. Which it sounded like prior to this it was going to be like 1 more and then he'd be back after that. Now they're talking about him joining the club after the 2, which would be likely in Arizona. It would be the next time we'd see Mike Timlin. So he will be back, but not quite yet. talking about perhaps adding more players here as the game goes on. Red Sox down 9-3. They're talking it over with Alex. So Hinske come into the game. That was for Lowell, who had injured his wrist hit by a pitch. On the ground, right side. Cano step to his left. And there's 2 down.
Time now for the Panasonic Plasma replay, so you can catch this again in crisp, rich, detailed motion. And back in the 4th inning, Jorge Posada with the double to clear the bases, drive in 3 runs. That's in an inning that the Yankees got 6 runs for the speed of sports.
Two down, bases empty for Doug Marabelli, who was popped out to second base and single. After a tough start, Wang has settled down into his outing. The bases loaded, 2 outs jam in the 1st inning. Red Sox stranded 3, and then in the 2nd inning he gave up 2 runs, a run in the 3rd. Red Sox left 8 men on base through the first 3 innings. And they gave up a leadoff single to Ortiz. Since then, he's retired everybody that he's faced, getting Manny to ground into a double play, Drew to ground out to second. And the first 2 outs of the bottom of the 5th, Hinske and Crisp both grounding out to Robinson, Cano at second base. However, he is nearing the 100 pitch mark in his outing. Too shy of that 100 pitch mark.
One knowledge, it's only been Joe Torre who has been thrown out of the game. I don't believe a Yankee player was thrown out also in that exchange between innings.
On the ground, but right at Jeter. And it's a 1-2-3 5th for Chein, Ming, Wang. We played 5, and it's 9-3 Yankees.
This is Table 12 at Carrabba's Italian Grill. It's where our passion for food and people comes together to make great things happen. Table 12 is where girls' night out becomes a great night out. And where sharing your linguine pescatore makes 2 years apart feel like 2 minutes ago.
When people get together over our original family recipes, good things happen around our table.
To do in Massachusetts, one fun thing leads right into the next. Visit massvacation.com for a complete list of getaways. Massachusetts, make it yours.
Not all the energy for our fuel comes from oil in the ground. A lot of it comes from our people, who year in and year out put so much of their energy into everything they do. So you can be sure that when you put Valero gas into your tank, you're going to get a lot out of it. Valero, the energy to take you anywhere.
My neighbor drove all over town to find the best deal on a cell phone. I just logged on to Let's Talk. They make it easy to compare plans from all major carriers and find cell phone deals that are much cheaper than retail.
Like the hot BlackBerry Pearl with music and video player, a $369 value, yours free after mail-in rebate and new calling plan.
Let's Talk has the best prices, the best plans, and the most free phones guaranteed.
Log on to 25letstalk.com or call now to order your BlackBerry Pearl. Let's Talk, the smarter way to shop for cell phones. So log on or call now.
For the top 9 countdown of all things Sox, don't miss Granite City Electric Ultimate Red Sox Show. Hazel May looks back at the news and events surrounding the Sox each week. This Sunday and every Sunday at 12:30, right before the Red Sox pregame coverage. It's 9-3. The Yankees on top as we head to the top of the 6th. New right fielder as Willie Mo Pena comes into the game. J.D. Drew is out of the game. And it's Alex Rodriguez leads it off here in the top of the 6th inning.
Been a rough week for Alex.
Couple things going on. And the ground at short. Lugo stepped to his left. And Rodriguez retired to begin things here in the 6th. Your A-Rod, probably the last place in the face of the earth you wanted to come is this 3-game series in Boston, of all the places that they could have gone after being in Toronto.
Yes, those are adults doing that.
One down for Posada, who struck out twice and doubled. Posada beginning the night tied with Vladimir Guerrero, 357 batting average. Guerrero and the Angels tonight playing host to the Baltimore Orioles. On the West Coast, Christy Brinkley still here.
It's a shame she wasn't born with good looks, you know.
She was here a couple of years ago for a day game.
Yeah.
Fenway Park. I think it was 2 years ago.
You had your picture taken with it, didn't you?
Did indeed, yeah.
Is it in your office?
It sure is.
Who is it next to?
Rene Russo. I have a corner of.
You really know all the celebrities. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm big. 1-2 grounded down the first baseline. It's a fair ball. Kicks off the boxes. Nobody touches it, and Pena will pick it up, but not before Posada's to second base with his second double of the night.
Well, Posada's night started when Wakefield left the game. Wakefield got him twice on strikeouts, but then since that, 2 doubles. And of course, the double last time up to drive in 3 runs. Fastball inside out swing by Posada down that first base line. Now you have Rene Russo, you have Christy Brinkley in photos in your massive office. Who else do you have on the wall?
Let's see. For the last couple of years, we have Wayne Gretzky. James Taylor is in there as well.
What about Pee Wee Herman?
I do not have Pee Wee Herman. No. But you never know. He comes to Fenway.
You're the only.
Always a shot.
You are the only play-by-play guy that I know in the league that travels a camera, just in case somebody.
Oh no, it's not for pictures with celebrities. That's to take shots of the different ballparks. I have a large collection of the different ballparks.
Oh no, I know that. I know that. But you don't miss an opportunity when you have a celebrity in the booth to sprint upstairs at the end of the inning to have a picture taken, like they really know you and like you.
That's not true. That's not true. Oh, yeah, the trumper. 1-1 is chopped right side. To the backhand is Pedroia. The throw is in time to get Cano, but Posada on to third base.
You have a picture with Donald Trump too?
You remember from last year when
Sure
we had
I do,
to fire you in the middle of the game? That was pretty fun.
He had a very strong interest in our stage manager at that time,
Yes.
Ashley Adamson. And then you ran upstairs to have a picture taken with him.
We did it down here. Remember, he offered even before we got done with him. You took a picture with him too.
I did.
You don't remember that? Yes. Revisionist history. 2 down. Posada at third base.
So you call him the Trumper, or is that?
No, but well, yeah. Yes, I did pretty much. Yeah. This one bounces by, and Mirabelli to the backstop, and from third comes Posada. The throw is in time. J.C. Romero covers, and they get Posada, who's getting up slowly. There's the collision at the plate. The out is made, but Posada hurt. Nine to 3 after 5.5.
Hey. What? We've been waiting here all day. So have I. No. I was here first. That's cardboard cutout. That don't count. You have to go in the back.
Introducing revolutionary performance headwear from New Era. Get it at Olympia Sports.
No. It's okay. I'm the MVP. I get to go in first.
Have you driven a Ford? Want to go somewhere cool? Do something fun? Do it in a Ford Focus. You'll get up to 37 miles per gallon. Plus, Focus comes with 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. That's 40,000 more miles than Civic or Corolla. So go ahead, have some fun in a Ford Focus. Right now, get up to $3,000 cash back on Ford Focus. That's up to $3,000. See your local Ford store today.
When you're on the go, you need the convenience, quality, and pricing that you'll always find at Extra Mart. Convenience. Everything you need is priced right and ready to go. Quality. Extra Mart has their own Extra Cafe Gourmet Coffee, delicious Deli Joe sandwiches, and Extra Fuels gasoline. Great prices. Extra Mart features everyday low prices and value specials. All this month at Extra Mart, 32-ounce vitamin water is specially priced at just $2 for $3. In every corner of New England, Extra Mart is just around your corner.
Nine to 3 Yankees as we check out the Red Sox Player of the Week. It's brought to you by your Kia dealers. This week it's Dustin Pedroia, currently on an 11-game hitting streak. In the past week, Pedroia raised his average from 271 to 308, which is currently third highest among AL rookies after hitting 182 with no homers and 2 RBIs in the month of April. Pedroia finished the month of May hitting 415 with 2 homers and 9 runs batted in. He's the Kia Player of the Week. Well, Dustin will lead it off as we head now to the home half of the 6th inning. Ming Wang back out there for the 6th, having thrown 101 pitches so far tonight. Pedroia has doubled twice in the game, once to right, once to left, and has knocked in a run. 12 RBIs on the season for the Red Sox second baseman. Ming Wang threw 109 pitches last time out. Here's another line drive base hit for Pedroia. He's 3 for 3 tonight.
He made a comment earlier this season in the newspaper that, and this was when he was really struggling. And he said, when I get hot, I really get hot. Well, he has gotten hot. He wasn't lying in that story. 3 for 3 tonight, 2 doubles, and now the single.
Here comes Julio Lugo, the top of the Red Sox order, who's 0 for 3 tonight, but has picked up his 31st RBI of the season. And ground out back in the second inning. The teams with 9 hits, but it's the Yankees on top 9-3 the Red Sox bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning. A half-an-hour rain delay to begin the game tonight. On the ground towards shortstop. Jeter to second for 1, on to first with Lugo running, and they get him. Not hit hard, but they turn. The 6-4-3 double play, 2 down in the 6th.
You know, Cano does very well at second base on the double plays. He's very good at straddling the bag, and you have to do that on this type of feed from the shortstop because you're not sure about an accurate throw. So you straddle the bag, use it for protection, and then make that throw to first base. He's very quick in doing that. Nice feed by Jeter to his second baseman, and Cano does the rest of the work. There's different positions you have to get to that bag too, and always anticipate a bad throw. The only time you're really sure you're going to get a good one is when the shortstop is moving toward the bag with the underhand flip. Then you can kind of fire across that bag anticipating a good throw. Other than that, you almost have to always expect a bad throw.
Turn 46.
And that's not always something to be proud of because a lot of times that means there's a lot of men on base. You know, sometimes the numbers are deceiving.
Ball and a strike to Youkilis, who has not have a hit so far tonight. He's grounded out twice and walked into the game with a 22-game hitting streak. Calls it to the backstop, and it's 1-2. Well, J.D. Drew leaving tonight's game with a right hamstring strain. The word that we have gotten. Willie Mopena took over in right field.
That's 2 starters out of the lineup. Mike Lowell being hit by a pitch, and J.D. Drew with the hamstring.
Mike Myers along with Brian Bruni in the Yankees pen. In the dirt outside, 2-2. Poppy waits on deck. Myers ready in the pen. Wang at 108 pitches through 109 last time out. His season high is 114. Nicholas cranks it foul. Still 2-2. .114 pitches, the high for Wang. Did that against the Red Sox in 6 1/3 innings back on May 21st. Yankee Stadium. One on the hands and fisted foul off to the right. 2-2. He gave up 7 earned runs back on May 10th against Texas. Most he's given up this season so far tonight, giving up just 3 runs, and they came over 2 innings, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. And since then has settled down through the middle innings. He has 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Ready with the 2-2 pitch to Youkilis. Well, it's a full count. Well, it'll be Kurt Schilling matched up against Mike Mussina in game 2 of the series. Josh Beckett and Andy Pettit going on Sunday night in the ESPN game. Left side, it's Jeter from deep short with a throw that's not in time. Youkilis extends the hitting streak. 23 games for Kevin Youkilis.
Yep, too far to go to the right for Jeter, and he gets rid of the ball quickly, but Youkilis beats it out at first base and extends the hitting streak now to 23. And it looks like Don Mattingly, or is that Mattingly coming out of the dugout to make the pitching change?
Yes,
yes it is. The bench coach for the Yankees. And he's calling for Myers, the left-hander.
Well, that's the night for Chein Wang, who goes 5 2/3 innings. The Ortiz coming up. Myers will be on. It's 9-3 Yankees.
Have you heard about the benefits of a reverse mortgage? If you're a homeowner, 62 years or older, and would like to supplement your monthly income, a reverse mortgage could be the key to living comfortably in retirement. U.S. government-insured reverse mortgages allow seniors to convert the equity in their home into cash without having to move or make monthly loan payments. The tax-free proceeds won't affect Medicare or Social Security benefits, and in most cases, you can use the money for almost any purpose you desire, including home improvements, travel, or family gifts. We offer a free information kit and video explaining everything you need to know about a reverse mortgage, including how you can supplement your income using the equity you've built in your home. Wish you could retire, pay off old debts, or just have more tax-free income to do the things you want? You don't have to sell your house, and you don't need to make monthly loan payments. But you do need to take the first step.
Call 800-500-9796.
If you owe over $10,000 to the IRS or state, call American Tax Relief for a free consultation. We've helped thousands of Americans settle their tax debt for a fraction of what they owed.
Once we hired American Tax Relief, the IRS stopped contacting us. That was an immediate relief.
And they settled our tax debt for a fraction of what we owed.
If you owe over $10,000 to the IRS or state, we can help you settle for less, maybe a lot less.
Call 800-294-1563 for your free consultation.
Tonight after our Red Sox coverage, stay with Nesson for Sports Desk with Hazel May, presented by FW Webb, home of Frank Webb's Bath Centers. Visit them at fwweb.com. She'll show you Tina Savassio's one-on-one conversation with Sox manager Terry Francona, plus another look back at the historic 48-point performance by LeBron James last night in the Eastern Conference Finals. Catch it all tonight after our Red Sox coverage with Hazel May in high definition on Nesson. Now, did Cleveland win that game? They must have won it. They did win, so they lead that series 3-2, and that's a big win in Detroit for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Mike Myers in to face David Ortiz with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. David's been on base 3 times tonight, a walk and 2 singles. He's knocked in a run, now 39 RBIs on the season.
And almost guaranteed that he's going to see Mike Myers in about every game they play.
Sox trying to chip away at a 6-run deficit. New York scoring 6 times in their half of the 4th inning. Popped up foul, backing out of play. It's 1-2.
That's a shame, Don, but this is the only game we get to do this weekend in this series. Tomorrow, of course, Fox beginning at 4 o'clock. And ESPN Sunday Night Baseball covering the remainder of this series. And next time we'll see you will be in Oakland on Monday.
Yeah, it's worked out last couple of times, unfortunately, in these Red Sox-Yankees battle. Here goes Ortiz. Pitch ball 2-2. As Youkilis takes second on defensive indifference.
Of course, both these teams playing Sunday night. The Red Sox have to travel to Oakland. They'll get in about 5 in the morning Oakland time, which would be 8 o'clock Eastern time, and play that night. I think the Yanks are going to Chicago, so they'll pick up 1 hour, but still a late night for both teams.
Red Sox will open up a 4-game series against the Oakland A's and then move on to Arizona as interleague play will start again as part of this next road trip. Swing and a miss as Myers strikes out Ortiz. We played 6. It's 9-3 Yankees.
In the spirit of goodwill towards our competitors, we'd like to openly share our trade secrets. Step 1, bake the bread fresh in store daily. Step 2, make the sandwich fresh in front of the customer. Any questions?
1640 Hammond Street, Bangor is the home of the sports arena and BangorTickets.com.
If we were in an emergency situation, we don't have extra. We have a little bit of water and a little bit of food. A meeting place, no.
No. For the family to meet?
No.
Whacked. I'm kind of not your normal host. Think I'm dull? Oh my God, I caught myself. Welcome to the show. Where you been?
Sponsored by Obashan Hardware, the greatest show on H2O.
歴史, tradiciones, pasión, ganar, Green Monster, the impossible dream, yes, Bambino,
Pecky Sport doesn't work for you.
climbing the ladder, high cheese, rally cap.
My English getting better.
There is no language barrier on Nessun. We speak the language of Red Sox Nation.
One nation, one network, Nessun.
9-3. The Yankees on top as we head to the top half of the 7th inning. And for New York, it'll be the bottom third of Abreu, Phelps, and Cabrera to face J.C. Romero, who's been in the game since the 5th inning. Abreu has been on base 3 times, couple of doubles and a walk. He scored 2 runs. The hit Abreu has given up the double by Posada. Strike to Abreu, and it's 2-1. In Wakefield tonight, 3 2/3, giving up 5 hits, 8 runs, walked 6, struck out 2. Now Snyder in his inning of work gave up a run. And a strike, and it's 2-2 now to Abreu.
Did you get a little fishing in yesterday?
I did, but it was a frustrating day. I didn't catch very much.
Didn't catch much, huh?
Got to fish for about 3 hours yesterday. How'd your cholesterol check go? Abreu swings and misses and strikes out. Just remember what your big day is going to consist of.
Actually went well. I hope I got the blood test. I just wait for results. I hope that it's going down a little bit. And then I spent I didn't realize how far behind I was on signing scorecards.
Yeah.
About 4 hours yesterday. And you know what? A lot of the scorecards were at Dice K's first outing. And that 4-home run game the Red Sox had here against the Yankees, there were a ton of scorecards for that. So I apologize because for the delay, but they are signed and they're out in the mail and you'll be getting them probably Monday or Tuesday. But we got backed up because they had that rain, those day-night doubleheaders and all kind of stuff. We had a lot of road trips and I fell a lot farther behind than I would have liked to, but they're all signed now and they'll be out.
Well, we wish you good luck on your cholesterol results.
Yeah, I'm sure you're very concerned. Yeah, thanks for your concern.
I'm very worried.
Yeah. I'm not.
I am. I see what you eat. Which is 0-2. Phelps jumps back out of the way.
Nothing like jumping out of bed in the morning and flying right to the hospital to get a blood test. You know,
you put it off for a while too.
Well, that's what
better than a month.
I told you, when you get 50 and older, that's the kind of thing that happens. That's like your day. You know, it's a big part of your day.
Third base, Euclid to his left, and there's 2 down. It's almost time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Jordan's Furniture. For the largest selection of best brand names and furniture and mattresses in New England, visit them in Reading, Nada, Avon, and Nashua. It's not just a store, it's an experience.
Has this guy caught a ball all year?
No. Not yet.
I know he's dropped a couple going back in the chair, and now he's got a mattress he's dropping. Is that Barry or Elliott?
I think that's Elliott.
Barry left, right?
I don't know. I know there were 2 guys, now there's 1.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
One left, and the other one's dropping baseballs every 7th inning in that game.
So you want to bring back the other guy to see if he's
no, I'm just observation I'm making. I'm an analyst. Supposedly. What do you think Ray Bork's thinking about this game tonight? Yo-Yo. There's Yo-Yo Tavares. Will be pitching Monday in Oakland. Bypassed over this weekend. You think Ray's thinking back there that the pace of this game is a little bit different than a hockey game?
Yes. Got the old clock going in hockey. Even in overtime, really got the 5 minutes and then the shootout. And fire it off back into the seats. Dunkin' Donuts is in its 8th year of hosting local youth groups and charitable organizations in the Dunkin' Dugout, a special seating section at Fenway Park. Thousands of children have had the opportunity to catch a Red Sox home game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. And we're hanging in out there tonight. This is out towards right center field, and that's in and gets by Crisp. They're shooting the gap out in right center and in the second base with his 2nd hit of the night. 4th time he's been on base. And it's a 2-out double for Melky Cabrera.
Yeah, pretty nice production out of that 9 spot tonight for the Yankees. Melky Cabrera, 2 walks, a single, a drive, and a run. Now the double. Nice looking swing there as his head's right on contact and driving that ball to the left of Coco Crisp.
So 2 down, Cabrera in scoring position, and here's Johnny Damon. He's 0 for 2 tonight, couple of walks. Walk with the bases loaded. Back in the 2nd inning, picked up his 18th RBI of the season. Both teams with 10 hits, but it's the Yankees on top 9-3. Up over the mound, Lugo around the bag at 2nd on the run and in time to get Damon. Yankees are gone. 7th inning stretch from Fenway. It's 9-3 Yankees in time for a Sports Desk update with Hazel May.
Don, thank you. Hi, everybody. Coming up tonight on Sports Desk, presented by FW Webb, home of Frank Webb's Bat Centers, the latest on Billy Donovan's magic act as he bolts from the Gators. And we're going to show you a dugout brawl in Chicago you won't soon forget. And you don't want to miss what Lou Piniella had to say about it. That's coming up after WB Mason's extra innings, but I'll see you in the post-game show. Before that, back to Fenway after this.
Like I said, we live in a society where the individual ego and the group dynamic are in constant struggle.
Response?
Yeah, I have a response. What?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Nobody said this was going to be easy.
Now see, if Geico.com had taken that approach, instead of telling everyone it's so easy a caveman can do it, I wouldn't be having an existential meltdown right now.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Have you driven a
Ford F-Series with the sheer rugged strength of F-150, the unrivaled capability of Super Duty, the most towing, the most payload of any other trucks in their class. No wonder the strongest trucks out there are America's best-selling trucks. Now get up to $5,045 total savings on Ford F-Series. See your local Ford store and get up to $5,045 in savings.
Hey fans, what better time than the 7th inning stretch to enjoy a cold, delicious honeydew iced coffee? Yep, it's icy cold and delicious. So stop by any of our 150 honeydew donut shops and get one today. And while you're at it, try one of our 4 fantastic new breakfast wraps. Oh yeah, you'll love them. Check out these and other tasty treats at honeydewtv.com and enjoy the local flavor.
Hey, pal, that was a strike. Stay tuned after the game for WB Mason Extra Innings and Granite City Electric Extra Innings Extra with John Caron and Dennis Eckersley. You'll see Sox manager Terry Francona's live press conference, all part of a comprehensive post-game coverage from both clubhouses. It's all right after the game in high definition on NESN.
Taking over at first base defensively is Doug Mankiewicz in for Josh Phelps as the new pitcher for the Yankees as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning is Brian Bruni.
Bruni's had a good year for the Yankees out of the bullpen. 24 strikeouts and 24 and a third, only 15 hits allowed, and opponents hitting 181. Hot throw. That fastball will be up around 94, 95 miles an hour.
Mike Myers faced one batter, which is not uncommon for Mike Myers. He faced David Ortiz, struck him out to end the 6th inning. In relief of Chein, Ming, Wang tonight, who went 5 2/3, giving up the 3 runs the Red Sox have on 10 hits. So Wang, Myers, and now Bruni. As Ramirez takes ball 2, 2-0. Well, we have seen Wakefield, Snyder, and Romero. And now Joel Pinheiro is up in the Red Sox pen. And Romero did a pretty good job. 2 1/3 innings from J.C. Romero tonight. Manny lines it into left field for a base hit. That's the 3rd hit of the night for Ramirez.
Batting average now for Manny up to 279 on the season as he takes the Bruni fastball middle in and topspin line drive to left field. Manny's really looked good this week with the bat.
Here is Willie Mo Pena, who came into the game for J.D. Drew now 2 innings ago. Drew leaving with a strained hamstring, a right hamstring.
Mentioned Ramirez getting hot over his last 9 games. Manny is hitting at a .455 clip.
On the ground up the middle. Jeter flips backhanded for 1 on to first. It's a double play.
And what a play by Derek Jeter heading up the middle. It looked like that ball was headed towards center field, but Jeter reaching out, and once again the Yankees turning over a double play. I thought that ball had center field, but nope. And then the sidearm shuffle pass.
Where's Manny going?
Well, Manny wasn't quite at second base. It looked like he ducked to get out of the way of the throw from Cano, and then I don't know what you would call that.
He pops it up from first comes Mankiewicz. It's a 6-pitch inning for Brian Bruni. We played 7 innings. It's 9-3 New York.
The way things are made these days, it's just plain wrong.
I disagree. Did you taste your sandwich? The spices are blended right into the breading.
Yes, I see your point. And for only 99 cents. I take back what I said.
Introducing the new 99-cent Buffalo Crispy Chicken Sandwich. With a fiery taste, it's built just right.
That's right.
The import with a taste as big as Canada. Molson Canadian. Here's to good nature.
Why be average when you can excel? Casual Male XL. New name, new look. Brands, designer styles, and sizes starting at XL. Call 1-866-THINK-XL for stores in your free catalog, plus special offer.
Hello?
Mrs. Anderson, this is Mark Brown. I'm from the collections department of...
Hi. Listen, I'm sorry I haven't made my payment yet. I'll get it in as soon as I can.
Maybe you should call In Charge. They'll work with you and come up with a solution that's right for you.
When life hands you a little more than you can manage, call In Charge Debt Solutions. We're a nonprofit company that puts people back in control by helping them manage their debt. We'll stop the collection calls, and we'll help lower your interest rates, so you'll have one affordable monthly payment. Call In Charge today.
Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Heineken, Kia, and by LP Weatherbest. Now we head to the top half of the 8th inning. Yankees on top 9-3. Red Sox will employ their 4th pitcher of the night. It's Joel Pinheiro.
Pinheiro making his 19th appearance of the season in 21 innings, 26 hits allowed, and 12 earned runs. 8 walks, 9 strikeouts. So Pinheiro's last outing coming on the 30th against the Indians. Pitched an inning in that game, a couple of hits, and no runs allowed.
It'll be Jeter, Matsui, and A-Rod expected here in the top half of the 8th inning. That's quite a play by Manning to end last inning on the double play. As Jeter leads it off and fouls it back into the seats. What are you taught to do in that instance?
Well, you hope to be able to get down and break the double play up, and then of course you try to get out of the way if you can't get there in time so you don't get hit in the face with the ball that's being relayed. Manny seemed to lose balance as that throw went by him.
Went into the tumble. Jeter fouls it off, and it's 0-2.
Another look at another Manny moment here at Fenway Park as he could not quite get there to break up the double play, and then once he saw the throw coming, has to duck and then lose balance.
Roll.
And roll. I'm going to tell you something. When Manny's career is over with the Red Sox, I hope that there's a tape made. Not, we know he's a great player, but of the Manny moments would be a national bestseller. And still on the top of my list will always be the cutoff play from Johnny Damon in center field. That to me cannot be topped.
It was a spectacular diving
catch. It was the best play that he made all season long. Now Jeter takes one off the foot. Actually, not the foot, maybe the knee, or just above the knee.
To third, knocked down by Youkilis, and a bobble. He drops it, and Jeter will reach. Here's your Manny cutoff.
Yeah, I think it's worth a look at just about every night. But this to me is the all-time Manny moment. Damon, the cutoff by Manny in left field. And he had to dive for it. It's all right, Johnny. I'll cut your stuff off.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I saved you.
I don't know how that could possibly be topped.
That's pretty good.
I don't think I've ever seen a left fielder cut off a ball from a center fielder
10 feet away.
10 feet away and have to dive for it.
There was an error charged to Kevin Youkilis at third base.
And that's going to be his first error of the season, Kevin Youkilis. And it comes at third base. Johnny's hair was a little bit longer in that last clip that we saw.
In the dirt, it's a ball and a strike.
Remember that year when Damon came to spring training with all that hair and the beard and everything else, and we kept looking at him saying, you know, when is he going to cut that? And he never did.
No.
And it just became kind of a cult thing here at Fenway Park.
Did for charity. Shaved the beard.
That's right. Yep.
Matsui. A swing and a miss, 1-2. Does not have a hit tonight. He was 0 for 3 with a walk. Scored a run after he walked in the 4th inning. Nice job tonight by J.C. Romero to log some innings. He went 2 1/3 in relief out of the Red Sox pen. But 2 hits, no runs, didn't walk anybody.
That's
struck out 1.
That's the good news for J.C. because the walks have been a problem, so he corrected that in the outing tonight.
Red Sox have walked 8 tonight. 6 by Wakefield and 2 by Kyle Snyder. Right side, ranging is Pedroia, diving to knock it down, ends up in short right. Now will throw behind Jeter at second base. And he's safe, and Matsui reaches at first with his first hit of the night.
It looked like Pedroia was going to get to that on the dive, but he never got control of it in the glove. And of course, once it gets by him, everybody's safe. But you see Pedroia ranging to his left, the dive, but it hits right off the thumb of the glove.
So first and second, nobody out. A chance here for Alex Rodriguez. Rod walked and scored on the second, single in the third, hit by a pitch and scored in the fourth. Last time up, grounded out. Jeter reached on the error by Youkilis. An infield hit for Matsui. First and second, nobody out. The Yankees as they bat here in the top of the 8th. Red Sox won the first 4 games of this season series. Wins for Snyder, Beckett, and 2 wins for Matsuzaka. Before Tim Wakefield lost, and the Red Sox lost for the first time on April 28th. Wakefield on the hook tonight. This would be his 3rd loss against the Yankees this season. Number 5 starter who was bumped for this series, Julian Tavares, actually has 2 wins against the Yankees this season, beating Wang and Mussina. And Julian will not pitch in the series. I mentioned earlier he'll be pitching against the Oakland A's on Monday. But he has won twice. Andy Pettit will go in the 3rd game of the series on Sunday night, matched up against Josh Beckett.
And there's one guy, Pettit, that has not been a disappointment to the Yankees. He's had very, very good numbers this year. Low ERA for Andy Pettit. He's 4th in the league, 2.51. So he has come back to the Yankees and pitched very well. The numbers 3 and 4 certainly don't indicate how good he's been for the Yankees.
1-1 against the Red Sox this season. He lost to Matsuzaka on April 27th, but then beat Schilling and the Red Sox on May 23rd. There's Alex Rodriguez down on strikes for the first out of the inning. The game summary is brought to you by your local Lincoln Mercury dealers. The Yankees getting a 2-run shot from Robinson Cano in the second inning, part of a 3-run inning. Third home run for Cano. The Yankees would score 6 times in the 4th inning as Wakefield got a little bit wild in the inning, ended up walking 4 batters in the inning. And it would be a wild pitch which would score a run. And then with the bases loaded, Jorge Posada tied for the league lead in batting average with Guerrero to begin the night. He clears the bases with his double on Kyle Snyder. And 3 runs come in for New York, part of that 6-run 4th inning that has the Yankees on top 9-3. More of the taunting that has gone on tonight for Alex Rodriguez. So 1 away, runners at first and second. Right side, Pedroia. The second for 1 on to first. Red Sox turn it to end the inning. 7.5 done. It's a 9-3 Yankees lead.
Toyota's 50th anniversary celebration is on now with the biggest Toyota selection in history. Check out the fuel-efficient Prius or the stylish Camry. Camry, Motor Trend's 2007 Car of the Year. You can lease one now with the lowest payment ever, just $199 a month for 36 months with $19.99 due at signing. Or you could save on a spacious Sienna with $1,250 cash back. Toyota's 50th anniversary celebration ends June 4th. See your New England Toyota dealer now.
When you're on the go, you need the convenience, quality, and pricing that you'll always find at Extra Mart. Convenience. Everything you need is priced right and ready to go. Quality. Extra Mart has their own Extra Cafe Gourmet Coffee, delicious Deli Joe sandwiches, and Extra Fuels gasoline. Great prices. Extra Mart features everyday low prices and value specials. All this month at Extra Mart, 32-ounce vitamin water is specially priced at just $2 for $3. In every corner of New England, Extra Mart is just around your corner.
Feeling real good about lunch today. This new KFC biscuit bowl's got all my favorites. It's got chicken.
I got a burger.
Mashed potatoes.
Fries.
Got corn and gravy, cheese, and now it comes with a biscuit.
Well, I got a bun. It's kind of like a biscuit.
Not even a little bit.
Biscuit-esque.
No, it's not.
Introducing the new Chicken and Biscuit Bowl from KFC. Layers of mashed potatoes, sweet corn, all white meat chicken, new home-style white gravy, and a 3-cheese blend. And now it comes with a buttermilk biscuit. Dig into great layers of flavor with new KFC famous bowls.
Hey, what's the point? Tune in for 10 sports questions and the man with all the answers. Globe 10.0, presented by Verizon. Hosted by Bob Ryan. Premiering Tuesday, June 26th on NESN.
That's the point.
Stay tuned after the game for WB Mason Extra Innings with Tom Caron and Dennis Eckersley. You'll get the complete postgame reaction from the series opener, including Tim Wakefield's postgame press conference, plus all the highlights from around the majors on this Friday night. It's all right after the game in high definition on NESN.
9-3, Yankees on top as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. The pitcher on for the Yankees, it's Kyle Farnsworth.
Farnsworth's 23rd appearance of the season in 21 innings, 22 hits allowed. He has walked 12 and struck out 11. Opponents hitting .265.
A pretty good inning for Brian Bruni, the pitcher before him, who gave up a single, but then got a double play and a pop out. As Crisp is out after the first pitch here of the 8th. Abreu makes the catch for out number 1.
With the weekend's games on other networks, Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe pregame show. Next be on with you on Monday night at 9. Tom Caron and Dennis Eckersley will preview the Red Sox 7-game road trip against the A's and the Arizona Diamondbacks, plus a look ahead to Thursday's amateur draft. Join us Monday night at 8:30 for Red Sox Monster Monday. And then the pregame show come to you at 9 in high definition, only on NESN. Red Sox really head into a kind of a tough stretch of travel over the next couple of trips. This trip out west to Oakland, and then Arizona, back home for a week, and then an Atlanta, San Diego, Seattle trip. So some rough travel coming up in the month of June.
Mirabelli sends a fly ball to center. Cabrera coming in, almost overran it, but steps back to make the catch, and there's 2 down. After that, the Red Sox will not go back to the West Coast until August, when they go out to play the Mariners and Angels in the first week of August. And I guess that's it, 3 trips. I thought there was a 4th there, but 3 trips to the West Coast this season for Boston.
That's enough.
Yeah, that is. Was that last year where we had not gone to the West Coast until the second half of the season? Does that sound right to you?
I don't recall, Don.
Yeah, 2 trips last year, but none before the All-Star break. The West Coast part of what was a very tough second half, as it turned out.
I know we went out to the West Coast after the 5-game sweep from the Yankees here at Fenway Park, and that was pretty much it. So that had to be in August sometime.
Yeah. See a racing going on. What's happening?
I put the first 2 outs in the wrong spot on my scorecard.
To anyone who is purchasing the scorecard,
you get some white out.
A white out mixed in.
It's the appeal of the scorecard, Don.
It's all part of the character.
I don't know what I was thinking. I saw Coco and Mirabelli, and I put the outs under Lugo and Youkilis. So
it's fixable.
It's all set now. Whiteout.
Good to go.
It's my Manny Whiteout.
Had that. What if Manny had that stretch of, well, really September, where he didn't play, but on a daily basis he was in the lineup. He messed up the scorecard on a daily basis. So popped up foul off to the right last year.
Any particular reason why the camera is shooting the booth? There's a game going on in the field.
Strike 3 call. Pedroia strikes out to end the 8th. We head for the 9th. It's 9-3 Yankees.
Welcome to Foxwoods. Can I take those for you?
Everybody break out. Everybody get loose now.
Everyone has a wild side. Let yours out at Foxwoods.
Everybody break out. Everybody get loose now. Everybody break out.
Would you like these back? No.
No, we're good.
Everybody break out.
Meet your wild side at Foxwoods.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
I've got it.
We've got it.
We've got it.
Got what? Health insurance. Massachusetts residents are now required to have it. And the state's Health Connector makes it more affordable and easier to get.
I've got it.
Me too.
Call or go to our website to compare plans, get information, and choose the right plan for you. Get preventive care and medical and financial protection.
I'm getting it. I've used it.
We've got it.
Get health insurance now through the state's Health Connector.
Phone, internet, and TV for one low price? I wish. I wish my phone wasn't all staticky.
I wish I had better picture and sound for game day.
Wishing and hoping.
With Verizon, you get everything you wish for. Unlimited calling to anywhere in the U.S., broadband, and TV, all for $99.99 a month.
I wish I could get high-speed internet that's right for me.
Phone, broadband, TV, wireless. Verizon.
Stay tuned after the game for Granite City Electric Extra Innings Extra with Charm Karen and Dennis Eckersley. You'll get the manager's assessment of this series opener with Cherry's Take with Tina Savasio. Plus a look ahead to the rest of the series this weekend. It's all after the game in high definition, and it's only on NESN.
9-3, the Yankees on top as we head to the top half of the ninth inning. And on for the Red Sox, Javier Lopez.
Lopez has pitched very well recently for the Red Sox. His last outing against Cleveland, a third of an inning in that game. Overall, his 16th appearance of the season for Boston.
Robinson Cano tonight with a 2-run shot back in the second inning. A couple of hits tonight, 2 for 4 showing. Sends it foul off to the left. Quite a few fans have ducked out tonight. And that includes our friend Wally, who's no longer with us. Fouled off to the left, 0-2.
Plus the game set back a half hour in a rain delay where it didn't rain. It was Scott Proctor. Loosens in the bullpen for the Yankees.
Had that happen a couple times.
It's tough to tell. Those thunderstorms were all in the area, and you never know when they're gonna hit Fenway Park, so you got to make sure.
Inside, Cano hit.
Well, there have been a few guys hitting this ball game tonight. Mike Lowell getting hit earlier in the ball game, which took him out of the game with the wrist. Now on a 0-2 count, Lopez coming inside and getting Cano right off the elbow, it looks like.
There's Alex Rodriguez and Phelps hit in the 4th inning as part of that 6-run 4th inning for the Yankees. So the 3rd Yankee to be hit by a pitch tonight. That's good play, and behind him at first base as Bobby Abreu bats. A couple of hits tonight for Abreu, 2 doubles. He's walked, scored 2 runs, and also struck out. Roll down the first base line. Hinsky taking himself to the bag for the out. Up to second goes Cano. We'll bring up Doug Mankiewicz for the first time tonight. He took over defensively. Last inning at first base with Josh Phelps coming out of the game. Mankiewicz hitting at .217, 4 homers and 15 runs batted in. .26 games in May. Mankiewicz hit at .265. With 10 RBIs in May, and a solo home run and a 3-for-4 effort against the Red Sox. Back on May 23rd, victory for the Yankees against Boston. A 3-hit performance that night, his first 3-hit game since last year against Kansas City. Lopez, the 5th Boston pitcher of the night. Joel Pinheiro worked the 8th inning, giving up a hit, no runs, didn't walk anybody, and struck out a batter. The first 2 Yankees reached an error and an infield hit. And he struck out A-Rod and was able to get Posada to ground into the 4-6-3 double play that ended the inning. A strike, and it's 2-1 now to Mankiewicz. Tap foul, and it's 2-2. Both teams with 11 hits, but it's the Yankees on top 9-3. Yankees jumped out to the 3-0 advantage tonight. Red Sox racing back to tie the score at 3-3 at the end of 3. And a 6-run top of the 4th inning for New York. And that is a last scoring we've seen in this game, with the Yankees on top 9-3 as they bat in the 9th. Full count to Mankiewicz. Strike 3 call. Lopez strikes him out for out number 2 of the 9th.
He's so tough on left-handed hitters, especially when he keeps that ball away like that. I mean, you have a tendency to have that front shoulder open up, and when he can come down from the side like that and pick up the outside corner, it's almost impossible to hit. Not impossible, but not easy.
Cabrera bats with 2 down in the inning. Cabrera's been on base 4 times tonight. 2 walks, a single, and a double, and a run knocked in. His number 9 spot in the order. He was so valuable last year to the Yankees when Matsui went down. Of course, Sheffield going down as well. He was brought up and saw so much playing time in the outfield last year for New York.
Well, probably playing time will increase now with Giambi on the disabled list, and probably for a long time. And we'll see what the Yankees do if they stay with this type of a lineup where Damon does some DHing.
Now tipped into the mitt, and it's 2-2. Well, the Yankees have used the disabled list a total of 16 times this season, 15 different players. And you get the feeling that Johnny could have had it on there a couple of different times, but he's battled his way through it. Plays hurt all the time, and did the same when he was in a Red Sox uniform. Ball 3, and it's a full count. Red Sox will be sending up the top of their order: Lugo, Youkilis, and Ortiz. Expected in the bottom of the 9th inning. Red Sox dealing with a 6-run deficit, down 9-3. Robinson Cano still at second base with 2 down. Foul outside of third base. Well, it's Kurt Schilling against Mike Mussina in game 2 of the series. A 3:55 start time here at Fenway tomorrow. That game is on Fox. And then Sunday night on ESPN, Josh Beckett against Andy Pettitte. To third, a half hop picked nicely by Youkilis, who throws to first to end the inning. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. It is 9-3, New York on top.
Toyota's 50th anniversary celebration is on now with the biggest Toyota selection in history. Check out the rugged FJ Cruiser or the spacious Tundra Crew Max. Or Tacoma with its bulletproof reputation for reliability. And right now you could save on a fuel-efficient Tacoma with $500 cash back. Or you could save on the adventure-seeking Go-Anywhere Toyota 4Runner with $1,500 cash back. Toyota's 50th anniversary celebration ends June 4th. See your New England Toyota dealer now.
Oh, interesting, Clamsdorf. It seems you've come to the Caves of Doom, and you're out of protection spells.
Sarlacc, Grimstaff, what little you know of my ways. I have powers you can't even comprehend. The princess will be mine. Yes.
The confidence to live your life. That's the power of Fallon Community Health Plan.
That's not a legitimate power, Kyle.
Yes, it is, Howard.
Oh.
At VIP, we know that when it's time to show your car a little love, you don't want to waste time searching for parts. We have the part you need when you need it. Names like Moog, Bosch, and Fram, always available for the best prices around. VIP has the biggest inventory anywhere, and all our people are car people. They know the part you need, where to find it, and how to install it. Don't waste your time going anywhere else. When you want to get what you're looking for, head to VIP. A little love goes a long way.
If you owe over $10,000 to the IRS or state, call American Tax Relief for a free consultation. We've helped thousands of Americans settle their tax debt for a fraction of what they owed.
Once we hired American Tax Relief, the IRS stopped contacting us. That was an immediate relief.
And they settled our tax debt for a fraction of what we owed.
If you owe over $10,000 to the IRS or state, we can help you settle for less, maybe a lot less.
Call 800-294-1563 for your free consultation.
Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by New England Ford Dealers, Sovereign Bank, the official bank of the Red Sox cable network, Molson, Verizon, Bacardi, and by Southwest Airlines. Well, the Red Sox have their work cut out for them as they head now to the last half of the ninth inning. New pitcher on for New York. It's Scott Proctor into the game.
Proctor making his 29th appearance, an 0-2 record, but 19 hits allowed in 26 innings, 13 walks and 16 strikeouts. The opponent's only batting .207 against Proctor on the season. He'll be among the league leaders in appearances before this season's over, as he was a year ago.
Kyle Farnsworth had a 1-2-3 inning in the 8th inning, including a strikeout. So the Yankees tonight have gotten good relief work. Chein Wang charged with the 3 runs the Red Sox had. It is 5 2/3, and Myers, Rooney, and Farnsworth. As this one fouled off to the right. Julio Lugo 0 for 4 tonight, but picked up an RBI in his groundout back in the 2nd inning. Lugo strikes out to begin things here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Well, Lugo striking out back in the 1st inning on a breaking ball from Wang. The same thing here, breaking ball from Proctor. Second time that Lugo has struck out tonight.
It's not been a big strikeout night for Yankees pitching. That's the 4th strikeout of the night. But Lugo has gone twice, and here's Kevin Youkilis. Extended the hitting streak to 23 games with his infield hit in the 6th inning. Went to deep short. Jeter gathered it, but by the time he got to first base, Youkilis had beaten it out. First time that he has extended the streak with an infield hit.